as we are once again alive upon the internet. So I should check that we are. Should be. We are indeed, in fact, alive upon the internet. And yeah, she should have changed the title. Or do I care enough? Oh yeah, let's change the title. He's on Twitch. Um, what's that? Yeah. As yeah, we are indeed actually gonna be doing some spreadsheet stuff, and of course, we'll later on watch the special report. As I just woke up from a nap, I really needed one as I got up way too early. Accidentally, though. In the background, I'm gonna pull up the burst and sustain tables. And we're gonna actually, let's jump in on this character. I'm gonna do some of the pre-work that we can get out of the way already. To the burst and sustain tables, and then yeah, basically do the work doubling up the work tomorrow.
Safe area detected.
Just on the calculations, just so as that usually helps with precision. As we'll go through the burst and sustain tables, recalculate everything again instead of just copying from PTS or anything, and then still checking versus PTS in the PTS charts. But yeah, we have that spreadsheets, of course. Yeah, this is the normal one, the main one. I want to already add in the rifle, basically a spot for it. And then also we're going to add in actually an extra tab for MMRs, already get the names in and stuff, basically make the visual part of it. Leaving the other parts, of course, for tomorrow when we'll get the final. Although they might actually put out the patch notes. Actually, you know what? Just in case they haven't already put it out right now. I haven't been keeping up, but I'm going to go to the Trello board. Division 2 known issues. No, so still the dev notes is the last thing they put out on the Trellos. So yeah, we'll see about maybe if usually they put out the patch notes like after that stream, or they like link to a thing. Also, so when is that stream exactly? Let me go to the official Discord and news. Or is it somewhere else? So news and announcements. Yeah, so it's on that stream place, and it is at 4:30 my local time. So another 2-ish hours before it starts. Likely as well 2 hours, because usually at like it says 4:30, but usually that's when their timer, a 15-minute timer from them, will start. So but yeah, we'll keep that tab open when they go live. We'll see it. Let's go back to this one. Also, I was considering, also is a bunch of work. Not sure I want to do it. So this -1 mod seems to like confuse a lot of people often. Or like the minus mods, because what I mean with those is usually the 3 mods that can be crit chance, because the mag I don't care about, because the mag was just taken care of like in a different place. But then there's the way that I do it with pistols, which is just to show how much crit chance they can have. I was looking at this and considering going, you know, maybe I should do that with all weapons, and then that would clear up the confusion, I feel. So I might take the time to do all that as well, because that would take a bunch of time to do. Let's already add in another sheet number 7. We're gonna rename it to MMR. And yeah, it's not gonna be a burst and sustain table because that totally does not make sense for it. Also, so these are 100. What is this? And the 200. Okay. So it's pretty easy then, at least. Well, let's resize this to 200. Oh wait, are all these? Oh, why does it say default 120 when it's when it's 100? That's weird. Yeah. Because yeah, we're gonna move some of that over. Yeah, might not be a bad idea. Of putting those like the pistols. Although I think it adds a lot of visual clutter. Maybe adding a different tab where I put in how many crit chance mods it can have. But that also adds visual clutter. Yeah, it's an issue I haven't really thought about. And hey there, Cairo. Oh, I forgot one thing. Let's go do that real quickly. You see the YouTube chat coming in there, but I didn't actually add it into Discord. Annoyingly, you have to do that per stream kind of thing. But we'll fix that up. That's it. Didn't do much prep before jumping on. But yeah, yeah, because I could put in here like CHC or something somewhere. Move everything up. And then just put like 3 times 5 or something. Just so that is clearer. Well, yeah, I don't hate this method either. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep it like that for now. I'll reconsider later. We might still do it though, and do it like the pistols. Yeah, let's make a start on actually the things I've already forgotten about, which is what even the pistol and stuff was called. Let's already make a space for it. The mosquito. Yeah, that's the name. So we're gonna do it here-ish. So you insert one row above. Yeah, that's the one we want. I'm now really considering restructuring it. Kind of thinking about how would I present the press Control C instead of Control V. How would I present? Does this even have a mud? No, so this is 0 crit chance. Because yeah, would I also be handy actually for the element like the exotics? Nah. Could maybe do it just behind it. Oh. Just put CHC, CHD. Because I find this a little bit cluttery, putting them behind the names here. Could put it after optimal as well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll keep looking at it. We might find a place to put it. But what we can do first already is actually take this set, maybe. Actually, let's already do this. So we don't know that. We know. Well, we'll input the numbers basically once we have them. For now, leaving basically this broken. So that's the only new weapon we're getting, really. And yeah, so let's actually already prepare all of them. Oh, that's not what I want. Insert one row above. Yeah, I want this one. Also, we need to fix up the percentage before, yeah. Important actually. Adding in a column wouldn't be too hard. I think I kind of like that idea of putting it after optimal. And then just maybe putting mods and then putting like 3 times 5 CHC or something as in there. So this goes here, this all goes away. We need to fix up this percentage. So that's 74. So I need to divide by 74. And then when we input, so this is 48 then, just one higher basically. And this one is 22. Yeah. Why is this one giving a divide by 0? And this one isn't. Oh, because okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because yeah, there is a divide by 0 in that function. If we do it by this, because there is a number already with max. Yeah, so we have that already. We'll input this final stats when we have them. Could put in the PTS ones, but you know, let's just wait for the real ones. But at least its place is prepared for it. We're gonna go do the same way by the rifles. So let me check up on chat. And Hater Dusty Sacks. Will you be streaming during the special report? Yeah. My intention is to, as I have it at the ready, whenever they start. Oh, this is the previous one. Let's just pause that. I was like, wait, it's counting down already. Yeah, just to watch the special report together, see what they're gonna talk about. Hopefully, it's not super long or anything. Also, I should just follow this, and then yeah, see what they say. Hopefully, it is tomorrow when they release it, and yeah. And in the meantime, doing some preparation work for having everything at the ready so we can input all of the stats tomorrow. And make sure that everything's up to date. Just preparing these places for it, because tomorrow we can just input the stat once, just plonk it into all of the other parts, resort it, and then that part is done. At least the exotics are done at that point. Let's actually already fix this up. So this is 38 instead. And also, yeah, I'm thinking of maybe like doing, at the very least, I should, because I used to have that, but at least here at the site or something, because a lot of people always ask like what this BM means and stuff. Or especially on LMGs, what the things are. Because a lot of people also misunderstand, especially on LMGs, that like I have them with like rate of fire here, but this is the mag. So the only thing I'm concerning here is with the mag. So it isn't the third stat as as some people mistakenly thought. Let's fix this up again as well. So 65 instead. There we go. I'm gonna say the way that these calculators work already inherently is just whatever stats are here, they're just calculating those out. So taking the stats out and then tomorrow inputting them. We can just, once we have that stat block, just copy it over and over and over. And it'll all work out. Let's actually see, did I do that right? So it's that one without that one. That's good. And it's that one without that one. Yep. Yeah, that's gonna take up some time tomorrow. Likely while everybody's manhunting, I'll be doing all of this. Kind of looking forward to though, because I haven't had much to do in here for quite a bit. Like last season, we added in, of course, just the Ouroboros and the Iron Lung into the exotics. This season as well, of course, just the added things are those. But a lot of things, of course, are getting reworked. And yeah, the rifles are gonna suck. I remember that as well with just the PTS already. And yeah, at least shotguns and pistols aren't getting touched. So here we just have to put it in here and just resort it all. And we're adding in MMRs. Although, yeah, I'm also kind of today going to spend some time here. Because, like, putting sustain makes 0 sense to me. For, like, burst and sustain is not what those things are about. We're going to take this as our basis, though. So we're going to remove the word sustain. We're going to sort them by something, likely base damage. But we'll take this as our like starting point. And what I'll think I'll do is first check chat. Let's have a note. Yeah, I'll be indeed. And yeah, it is indeed an hour and a half away. But yeah, I'm also like just gonna fix up some stuff while we're waiting. I needed to do this anyway, get some of this ready, get the MMRs set up ready as well, and kind of figure out how I want to show it, or like what the because yeah, it's not going to be about burst or sustain. We're likely just going to compare base damages. And I want two of them. The second one with the weapons that can take a +5 weapon damage mod, having their bases altered, or like having a +5 weapon damage. And hey there, Clipsy. You look like someone I know. Well, hi, I'm IKEA. Now you know me. Now you actually know me. Well, I mean, you know my internet name. But yeah, welcome. Plump Rump Stump. Okay. Not a name I'm familiar with, but I won't Google it there. Just in case it's... We'll go into the other browser that's not on screen. Well, that's okay. Well, the only things I can find of him is not very enticing. But yeah, if you feel so, feel free to feel that way. And hey there, Sharky. And yeah, no worries. Feel free to lurk. And likely that will be the case for a lot of people where we're just doing some background work. Kind of like someone, right? I mean, the thing is with someone being themselves, like usually even if other people think you look similar, like you don't, but also like I may be chunky, but I'm not American chunky. Let's say that. I'm European chunky. Yeah. Where did I put the other browser? I put it here. There we go. Let's see. Broke it by the easiest thing, I am gonna actually steal just the names from here. Although of course I have them all as well. We'll double check, but just so I kind of have them. Although not all the names in here are always correct. I want to have them as the in-game names, but well, just as our starter,
safe area.
We'll just go in here and do that. Also, you know what I should do? I should actually, yeah, let's remove all these stats. Just so I don't accidentally leave one in, and also delete all of those. So it's basically empty. Kind of thinking of maybe actually having a burst one though. But that shouldn't be hard to make, because yeah, we can just alter that to be a burst if we want it. Or maybe having a burst percentage thing, maybe still. More just for these fast firing ones, because I'd be curious. For the bolt actions, or we might make a burst table with just the fast firing ones. Or burst kind of makes a little bit of sense. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, so here we already will have the first merged one. So paratrooper / surplus. Is they the same? Do you spell surplus like that? With one S, yeah. Surplus, yeah. Because all of these, actually, wait, so these all have different base damages, right?
What's that smell?
No, actually these two are the same, but the tactical has an internal mag, so I'm gonna treat it separately. It's basically like the AK. Well, nah, well, not the same base though. that the case as well here? Do the covert and the SRSA1? Because the SRSA1 doesn't have a long rail, right? As we'll merge those two together as well, I think. Yeah, this has a short on the barrel. The rest of it's the same. And then this has a long on the barrel, and the rest of it's the same. Okay, so we will merge those two. So SRSA1 / covert SRS. Is that how I also do it actually here or no? Mm. Mm. So no, let's do that indeed differently. So we'll do SRS and then in between brackets A1 / covert. And then we'll do the same with SVD. Yeah, like that way better. So we'll do it that way. Yeah. So classic on 44. I'm thinking on 44. All of these have different, right? Yeah. Custom on 44. SR-1. Actually, it's not -1, right? It's just this for instance is a, or no, this one is actually dash. That one and the SRSA1. Okay, this one isn't with a dash. I always get them mixed up in their namings. And a tactical 308. 308. That's the order of things. Okay. So that's the list. Let's actually put that against in-game as well for a second. So yeah, tactical, so classic 44, SRS, making sure nothing is missing in there. Well, 700, well, I mean, it would be very weird if it did, but you know. Just to double check, yeah, so G28. Also that I have all of them as well. So we do have one of each as well, so that's good. If you make a new character, do you have to do the specializations all over again? If you boost with the boost, you get the first 3 specializations. So demo, sharpshooter, and survivalist. You'll get them as complete if you do boost. So if you're using that, you'll get those all filled up. But then yeah, the rest of them you have to do. If you do one from a DC start and you don't want to boost, if you want to re-experience everything, then yes, it's character specific. And hey there, Chelsea. Do I stream a lot? Quite often. Usually not this time slot though. Usually a lot later. In the evenings, my evenings, which is like normally my stream would start 6 hours from now, basically. And why am I doing spreadsheets? Because I love spreadsheets. That's that's the reason. There's no other reason at all. I spreadsheet so you don't have to. That's actually not a bad line. Actually, I should totally steal that from like the You know, the nostalgia critic and stuff. I spreadsheet so you don't have to. We're preparing for next season, is the actual answer. Some weapons are getting changes. So this is my burst and sustain tables and stuff, so I already provide these. I'm going to alter them. I've made the preparations for the two new exotics. I'm preparing here as well. I never had marksman rifles in here because who cared before, right? Like, who in their right mind even cared about marksman rifles at all? Everybody just used the white death and that was it. That has changed quite recently and is getting changed. Did this have the final MMR things? Because all the MMRs got plus weapon damage, right? Nothing got... Oh yeah, plus optimal range. Nothing got like rate of... Oh no, actually that of course, this one gets a plus 20 RPM. We'll do actually the newer numbers because we can already... Well, I'm not confident in just plus 30%ing the base damage currently. We can already input a lot of this. So let's... Now we have to decide how I want to present it. Let's just start working on it. I'm not going to copy from the other spreadsheet because that's how errors linger on. So we'll just make sure that we're not on strikers or anything else that would provide us rate of fire. Nope. Then and then we'll go through it. Because yeah, we'll input some of the stats already, have them at the ready, and then do the base damage back calculations tomorrow when they're actually available. So we're not really doing sustain calculation things. Because yeah, what I want to put in is if it has a 762 slot, it can, with a mag, it can take the plus 20 round one, right? But you really shouldn't take on these. But what I might do is actually do it like 20 and then in brackets 40. We can't calculate with that because that's not a value, but we likely won't use this end part. Or do we... Now for this initial one, we'll do this. And then what I do want is actually, I'm going to take the SOCOM, the G28, and the SVD. We'll make actually a burst and sustain table for them separately because for them, burst and sustain kind of matters and damage per mag. And then we'll just do it with like, yeah, but with big mag and without big mag for sustain. And yeah, I've already made it much more complex than I wanted this to be. That's 2-second reload. Do I want it with the big mag reload or the... yeah, let's do it with the big... Okay, so I need all of them. Yeah, at least those three in my inventory then. She has enough space, right, for all that. Carbon, this thing. It has a white death, which will give the same numbers anyway. Covert. Stick that on 700. That was a pinprick, actually. That's not the one I'm looking for. I want that one. Now duck through. I think I'm gonna mag him with the 40 and then take that reloads. And G3. Icon has modding menu? Yeah, let's do it with that. Not that the reload really matters, man. Because yeah, it's a 2.2 now. Or actually, what we can do even is 2.0 brackets 2.2 for this. So yeah, let's present it like that. Need to equip it, of course. So this guy has a 60 range. Does it get any changes? No, only the tactical 308, the 700s. Yeah, all of the 700s are carbon, tactical, yeah. So let's actually do that already. Let's just, for this, 8, 8, 8, 8, and then you will remember when we hit them that we need to add an 8. So 60. Yeah. I will double check, of course, as well. What next season? I would personally use the base weapon values without any attachment if it was a table with all weapons. If it was specifically what I would use some attachment that's useful. Yes. That's up. Yeah. that's how these are set up already. Because yeah, the attachments won't do anything for burst DPS, so they don't matter there. This is not gonna, so with the MMRs here especially as well, I'm not gonna present the first one. It's just gonna be base damage. Basically, this whole end is gonna go away. You can already take it away actually, because we're gonna be sorting. Actually, well, I wanna take these percentages out, because likely we'll link those percentages to the base, and we'll sort them by base damage, because that's what most people will care about for Headhunter. Then I want to make a second one for the weapons that have can take +5 weapon damage. So basically like that. We're just putting in the stats here basically for now. And then yeah, gonna make one basically with and without. I could even do that in here, making 2 versions of it. But let's first get the stats in for all of this, because they'll eat up some time anyway. And that's also the reason these never existed in the burst and sustain tables, because yeah, when we're going for these things, it's very much not how burst and sustain is not how sniper rifles get used. Although, well, focus aces kind of uses them that way. But so this is 275 as well. It's the same as this. Is it also the same reloads even? No, it's 2.7 and 2.4. So 4/2.7. Oh, actually, no, not slash, in between brackets. 2.7. Okay, 700 carbon. So 54. Same here as well, actually. Although, well, what can you even take on the max size, max slot of these? Because you can take +5 mag and what else? You know what? Let's show both numbers here as well. even though that breaks calculations. We're not calculating here anyway, so yeah. 3.3. 700 tactical. 7 plus 5, right? Yeah. Oh, actually, the tactical can't take that. Okay, so then maybe we just combine these two. I thought actually the 700 tactical was internal Mac. Seeing as it isn't, yeah, we'll just do exactly that. So then they're basically the same weapon, just... did they have the same amount of mod slots? Even? Yep. Did they even have the same mod slots even, I think, right? Because both of them have long like me. What is a side slot? What the hell is a slice slot? Okay, can only take crit chance. Yeah. Yeah, like the classic M1As and stuff. But that one mod slot isn't going to make the difference, so we'll just put it like that. And yeah, we're going to just take that out. Yeah, just move everything up one. There we go. They also have the same reload, right? Yeah. They are in fact. Oh, actually, we forgot. Where's the G28? Still in my hands. 60. The stat screen is the best place to see optimal range. Oh, these things did really need a... I didn't actually even realize how low their optimal range was. Although, is this... I need to make sure, actually. Yeah, okay, yeah, yep. So that's... Good thing. Good thing we looked at that. So this is now 50. Or is going to become 50. Just to be sure that they're the same. Yep. So now the model 700. Why is it taking so long for it to load up? That's yeah, this is our first of the integral max. Integrated max. It's the game called. Yeah, so let's get. Oh, so this is 50 as well. 42 wasn't too bad either, but yeah, the bump up is not a bad idea. Also 54. It doesn't get plus mag. So this is just 7.
I don't know how we keep some of this stuff working, but we do.
And a 7.2 second reload time listed. Just because it doesn't have that tactical reload at all. It's just horrendous. And hey there, Wild Weasel. Is this in preparation for the final patch notes? Well, the final version. I won't go off the patch notes. I'll go after. I'll go with what they actually put in the game, because yeah, sometimes they don't line up still. But yeah, basically prepared already places for the 2 new exotics. And now, yeah, getting stat blocks together from all of the snipers. SVD. That's actually our SVD. I'm gonna make sure Because I do like the stability mods, especially for SVD. So yeah, we do need to take that off. 34. Optimal. 10. 15. With the mods. It's 2.6 for both. And then an RPM of 260. Because yeah, I'm basically gonna leave the base damages empty and just fill them in tomorrow. Well, we can do all the preparation work and stuff for it now. And then have the fruits of our labor tomorrow. So yeah, this one doesn't have any ones of those. So this is 42 still. And this one, 7, the same as this. And a 3.0 reload. And 60 RPM. Literally 1 round per second. Okay. Let's just make sure the covert or the whatever one is also the SRSR1 is all the same as well. Oh, yeah. This is the long rail difference, right? That's the long rail, that one doesn't. Yeah, same 60, same 12. Okay. Well, let's give him 44. We'll just take the white. So I'm already actually gonna put this here, +5. We haven't done the +5 there, but we can calculate that up with it in a second. Yep. 55.5. Oh. What's the reload on this? 4.2. But that's a little off the mark, especially if you reload from empty. Because I think actually this is the only weapon where the reload from empty is likely faster than the than like 5 loose rounds calculated out. Because it has a clip animation. Optimal. Has an optimal of 60. On the gun 44. Uh, 55. 5. Also has the integral mag, right? Oh wait, this thing has a skin? I didn't even remember. Oh yeah, it does. Koi pond. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was from one of the seasons, right? Yeah, let's get this +5 for here as well. 4.2. So I'll have the same 60. Yeah, wait, catch up here. With a build. Oh, also just to make clear there, mail. So these you can make it with a build, and yeah, then like calculate with the DPSs for them. But you can also like here, like with the ARs and stuff, have it just be the weapon. The only thing you need to account for is, yeah, that as I have here, or less mods and stuff. Because, yeah, you don't need to go all the way to a build for the weapon. You can just compare them side by side, of course, but you need that knowledge of, like, some have less crit chance. But also, yeah, putting them on a build, yeah, at that point you start adding so much complexity. I do that sometimes, of course, for some builds, some specific builds, but yeah. Because I know, like, there are big charts that try to put way too much together and it becomes incomprehensible, basically. In the patch notes, if something receives a 10% damage buff, does this actually result in the end damage increase of around that? Yes, because the base is going up by 10%. So they're basically adding. So the way you could kind of see it is, like, for the weapons that are getting 10%, let's say the ACR, basically this base number is getting this number times 1.1. So 10% extra of this number. And because of that, it's basically as if they're giving an extra multiplier in there. So, and because it's going off of the base, it's not interacting with anything else inherently. So it's not like it's giving 10 weapon damage or something that's giving diminishing returns. It is a full 10%. The only downside, though, is as we already, because yeah, I still have this one is, for instance, from the PTS. When they say 10%, what they actually mean is 0.83%, 10%, 8.2%, 4.96 when they meant 5, 11 when they meant 10, you know. So your mileage may vary with that 10%. But yeah, just basically if they're saying 10% there, it's going up by 10%. But then especially, for instance, with the marksman rifles, that's even becomes, not literally exponential, but because of Headhunter giving 125% of that first shot on top of your next shot, or 150% with perfect, that like severely increases that, because yeah, you're like compounding on top of each other. Yeah, let's keep that PTS one open still. But yeah, here, let's finish up this MMR list. So next up, custom M44. Snipers at the top, of course, because one is equipped. Custom. And yeah, this is also going to be this 55.5. But then, actually, no, it's going to be a 55.5, and then it has a max slot. So I can take another 5 to 10. 3.2 second reload. It's going to likely have the same 60 optimal. Yep. SR-1. I really like this weapon. I hope I hope it comes out well out of the comparisons. It's just like the look of it and everything. It's kind of funky looking. Also, I might then, I don't have that skin, right? Might be enticed to buy that one skin for it if it is actually good. No, because yeah, there's one skin in the shop for it. I always kind of liked, but I just didn't use the weapons. I was like, why buy it? But is it still here actually? Wait, or do I have it? No. Wait, did they take weapon skins out of here? Oh no, here. Right, but yeah, I like that weapon skin for it. So maybe if it becomes good, you know. If you buff it enough, I'll buy this. Is that incentive enough? Massive. Totally don't remember these ones. And yeah, sadly, the skins for the MPX will go unused for a while because it's going kind of in the bad direction for it. SR1, yeah, 60. Is it actually the same as the other one? It's a +5 mag, right? Yeah. So it's basically this one and a 3.2, same as that. And an optimal of 60. Tactical 308. Tactical 3. That is. Let's already make this 50. So 70. So has the marksman max slot right here. So +5. So 7 plus that one basically. And a reload of 3.2 as well. It's almost as if they copy pasted a lot. Allowing me to copy paste a lot. That's nice. Yeah. So now actually this no, okay. I should have copied it instead of cut and paste. So as you know, what I feel I just will do is just do this and then take this, put this here, take this, put this here. Take one of those, put that there. Although, so because yeah, I shouldn't have. So is this divided by itself? Divided by d4. Annoyingly, you can't. Well, actually, I haven't tried it in a while. The auto completion. Although, well, actually, I need to do it with this one, right? Because otherwise, it won't understand anything about anything. Yeah, no. There's likely a way to do it, but at least this gives us the. As it keeps going, it's yeah, doesn't understand that. I just want to. Well, actually, so what we can do, yeah, that is still handy. Just gonna try and make every one of these B4s. Maybe if I put a few in, then I could have understood it. But it's not too many here anyway. Could have also just gone and copied from another place. There we go. Yeah. Let's make sure. Yeah. So everything will be against that top spot there. And this is base damage. That looks about right. Let me catch up here. Just go ahead and time someone actually reloading one of those guns for the sake of it. Well, the reloads are always because it doesn't matter what actually like even RPMs and stuff. There are balancing factors. They just pluck them and try to make best factor choices for them. Well, of course, you know they like try to match up. AKs are around 600 RPM. FAMASs are pretty high in RPM. I think even closer to 1000 usually is what the reported rate for them is and stuff. But they're balancing factors. That's all they really are. The question is, will the server be back online Tuesday or? Well, we'll see. They did some prep work for it, so yeah. Okay, which attack got a damage buff. Yeah, they only got an RPM buff, didn't it? Which kind of, I mean, doesn't really help it out. I think they might have gone like, oh, we've updated or we've improved the scalpel and the mechanical animal, so we shouldn't improve their base weapons. But yeah, no, because of how bad their base weapons are, they're not gonna find much use, I think. And I'm looking forward to filling the base damages up tomorrow with the actual final numbers and picking a new snipers to go farm. It's been a while since I've had anything other than like a class or a white death in my hands. Do you think some builds will not be working anymore as previously after the big balance patch? The builds aren't really getting changed. There is a because there's going to be some changes to some builds, so Intimidate getting a buff will help it. I wonder if actually one of the ones that I forgot is Foundry is of course actually also getting a buff. That might make Foundry chest and backpack more usable, maybe, but also yeah, our raid team's really going to give up Vanguard. Do you need more tanking? Not really, right? So I don't think they'll find use because we use them differently than like just survivability. They're also group buffs. Any build actually stop working? Not really. Nothing. Because they're doing it kind of. I actually like the way they're trying to balance stuff. Is balancing up. It's not going to work out for them in some ways. Like I feel the shakeup in marksman rifles is just going to be just the shakeup in marksman rifles. Just literally the difference is going to be, hey, instead of going and farming White Death, hey, go and farm this other rifle. So yeah. Yeah, let's because I want to I do want to take actually let's take from the AR's a burst table which is 6. Yep, you can always add more if you need to. Forgetting where I'm going. Let's do that one. Let's do a sustain table as well. Well, actually, I should do mag damage first. I feel. Because we're going to get a little bit funky with this. Actually, okay. So let's put this underneath, because that's usually the way that I go. AR's mag damage. You're forgetting how to tab in spreadsheets. Spreadsheets, how do they work? Yeah, so, and we're gonna take these two. This one. And take their spring. Oh, no, that's of course. Yeah, I can just take both of these. No, not Control X, Control copy. SVD as well.
Know how we keep some of this stuff working.
Yeah. Only SVDs only have 34 optimal. What? Just never paid attention to that. They do. In fact, I have 34 optimal. Not changed by anything else. Yeah, so what we do here is we're gonna actually not. So we're gonna take these values over. Oh, let's take these three out. No, just take the entire thing. So because for these, I would be curious to know what their burst and sustains are. For the fast firing ones. Not that really we ever use them that way. So the bracket number goes right there. Just take that. Yes. Also, none of these is getting changed, right? On the paratroopers. And we'll wait with inputting them. We can take it, of course, from up there. And yeah, we can take this whole block, put it here and here. Once we have their bases, we can just input that here.
Food rations will be restricted for the next 24 hours. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change a formatting thing here. Or was find replace here? Edit, find replace. Para trooper and replace with para. No, what? You have to actually hit the button. Yeah. True. You have to first replace all and then press them. Replace all. There. That shortens up the SVD text so we can do. So let's go to. Let's take from rifle. Yeah. And there we go. Because these will be the Big Mag ones, and then the. Because for these three, I would care about like burst and sustain, but not so much for these. And the annoying thing here is, of course, how do we kind of surface this? Is this bolded actually? It is. Right. All of it is bolded. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. The annoying thing is, of course, we can't just go the 5 weapon damage on top of the base, because, you know, that's not how weapon damage works. It's going to be additive to other stuff. So yeah, that one just does that actually show up on the thing as well, or because I haven't ever on this list? Oh yeah, it does. Don't know if it did on this list. Did it do? Let me catch up on a lot of them. You think LMG builds will pop up and be closer to big damage? I think LMGs will actually overtake ARs for some things. So more coordinated teams. So not random matchmaking because LMGs are harder to use, but yeah, 7% more damage over ARs. Yeah, I'll take that. 10% is added to the base damage, all damage increases are added to the base damage, and it doesn't stack the way one might. Yeah, so yes, basically what Artio said there as well. But yeah, it's basically if it's where it says 10%, if that weapon is used on that build, it goes up by basically that same 10%, or about that, because it's basically an extra multiplier added in, but then just at the base weapon damage thing or point. So. With Future Perfect and 4-piece Hotshot plus Araldi Backman Chinkular will hit for like 30 million at its peak, and without the scope and that force. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mess around much with Headhunter. I was like, I'll believe it. White Death is already good enough for me if something does more damage than it. Because yeah, I will of course once it hits like the main game. That's also why I'm preparing all of these things. Once we hit main game, we'll figure it out. But also, yeah, with their bases being that high, that scope mostly adds in damage on the first shot because it doesn't go into the Headhunter stored amount, basically. So, but also, I'm using scopes because I like them. And indeed, well, I mean, most people run it with determined anyway, because it is just so easy to use. But yeah, indeed. Preservation, Future Perfect, or even just taking Ranger or behind you, or Lucky Shot as well, especially if you're not using Hot Shot or using High End or something. It's Mantis, though, to be honest, even with Malzo. Yeah, Mantis is nice as well. Just that vision it inherently gives you is already pretty good. Days go much faster. Yeah. Well, RPM and stuff in video games is always just a balancing factor. Like they pick the numbers as they're as they need them to be. If I remove twinkling lights from the library, that'd be the you couldn't apply twinkling lights even when you had it to anything. You could only add it to your library. So yeah. Yeah. And yeah, for me as well, I'm kind of, a lot of sniper rifles are gonna find replacement. Although one thing also should not be forgotten, this going to Detox, the Nemesis getting 10% is also pretty large. It's a pretty large buff to it, going from crit chance, especially on a build that doesn't have crit damage anyway usually. So that will be a big bump to it as well. But I'm hoping preferably that the SR-1 also lands high up enough that it's kind of like usable. We'll see. Yeah, that is my preferred weapon. Also just to use. So not just looks, but also to use. Because it has, actually, yeah, it's one of the, it doesn't have much of a sway to begin with. It is, basically like the SRS-1s and M7. Actually, is it better than the Carbon on its stats? Yeah, it's even a little bit more stable. Although, well, that's maybe mods as well in play there. That's a stability mod. That has a stability. Oh no, with just one mod on both of them. So I just like the look of it with that like compensator thing in the middle of it. Recoil compensation thing. But yeah, we've made the preparations there. Let's put all of this stuff back into the stash. Put the ones that belong on her. And yeah, tomorrow we'll just max out this weapon damage and put it on a build where we'll land on 100 weapon damage exactly. And just back calculate everything out. I might actually already prepare the character to have that. And I just need to remember or be reminded that every time I swap from one category to the next, yeah, need to make sure my damage bonuses are locked in correctly. So, and I'm kind of thinking, actually, you know, we'll make this carp dot. Everybody knows what a carp dot is, right? How to deal with these weapons, but I guess I just need to like put it on a
Please
build.
remember to switch off and unplug all electronic devices that are not in use. Thank you for your cooperation.
So actually, while we're here, because this question always gets asked anyway, let's add. How would you call that thing? Even like a legend or something like this, right? Or just terms. Because I feel, yeah, most of these were just made for myself to begin with, and just usually sent to people when they or note, maybe note is a little bit. In bracket signifies mag choice. Mag / pouch for this one. Pooch.
We're doing better than I thought.
Pouch.
Whew. I need to get the smell out.
God damn it, Damien. Go into the void. I just hear people in game talking to me. Because yeah, we have the E RF Big Mac. Because a lot of people always don't get. I mean, yeah, it's understandable as well, but Big Magazine plus 20 rounds. So this is a gunner pouch plus 50 rounds. Or should I just do RNDS? RNDS is better. Or actually, yeah, let's do it like that. Put that over there. Yeah. And just do space plus, right? And then, yeah, I don't want to calculate anything. I just want to. Yeah. This is rate of fire pouch. Kind of. It is not responding fully. And this is +5 rate of fire. Does that make sense? That makes sense, right? I determined philosophy, to be honest, doesn't sit right with me using it. I can agree with that. It's more one of those things like it's been in the game for so long and so effective at its thing that yeah, it's kind of undeniable. I denied it for a season as well, basically, and then let it envelop me in its determinedness afterwards. Dread also getting a buff. Yeah, Dread as well. Kind of looks good. What is well, because it gets the same as those VDs, right? Open here, so yeah. That 15 weapon damage. Actually, that's actually pretty good as well, yeah. Because I also sometimes use it with aces, focus aces. But also, yeah, the Nemesis getting basically a, likely not the full 10% because a crit chance still had some value, even if you're like barely putting shots at, but it's likely still like 7 or 8% more damage in effect. Yeah, a lot of these were. I think as well the Ekim's long stick will likely as well be pretty good because you can, especially with hot shot, you can avoid getting that reload, and yeah, it actually stacks up a lot faster, of course, than the old ones. Let me get through the rest of this one. Unusual for the dev team to be wrong about this. So that, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, sniping in this game it's more like Call of Duty sniping than actual like long range sniping. Basically, the game caps at 101 meters, basically. So usually anything beyond that doesn't get registered at all. No, there SPK. Likely, well, maybe I have to see this evening, but maybe this evening. Likely not for now because I'm kind of just waiting. We're doing some final work here. Just putting in some things that I should have long ago. Actually, I feel this I should have had in here like ages ago. Because we're gonna take the same thing as well and put it by rifles. Actually, where did I exactly put it? It's like in line with that, okay. Plus 5/20 rounds because yeah, in rifles there's a bunch of rifles that are plus 5 rounds instead of plus 20. And there's no pouches here, so yeah.
Firearms training is now available at the shooting range. To book a time slot, report to the range. Those with previous law enforcement or military experience will be prioritized.
You know what? Let's do the same as well with the -1 mod because a lot of people don't get that either. So we'll take this. Oh, I'll take this. Let's put that here. So in brackets signifies amount of THC mods. 15 or 10. CHC mods. Zero CC. The CC mod slots available. Yeah, let's do that. Mod slots available because yeah, you don't have to use my butchered available after that. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. And color this same red as this text, whatever this text is. That one. Yeah.
Oh.
Because we're going to copy this over to here. Because in ARs, of course, we don't have more than one, but it's so weird. It doesn't take the formatting always cleanly when you go between tabs and stuff, or between tabs or entire things. So we'll take this again as well and put it here. Wait, does it just not have it there either? No. Okay. That explains it. Okay. There's two things in brackets. Actually, I always wanted to change that to put maybe one in like boxy brackets, one in normal brackets. Should I maybe do that?
Report it to the nearest JTF member immediately. Do not intervene or risk causing potential harm to yourself.
Should maybe do that.
That transmitter fails, we're screwed.
Although that's also just a lot of busy work. Yeah. Oh. So here, we're just gonna delete all that, remove all of this. CHC available. This is going to be worded differently. Available from mods, which is like the inverse. There we go.
Consumption of drugs and alcohol on site is forbidden. Violators will be removed from the secure area.
Yeah, that one doesn't have. What I totally should do, although, yeah, kind of. I'll think about it. It's a lot of work. It's an annoying thing because the thing I was thinking of like putting like mod past optimal or something and then doing it like that, like 3 times 5 or something, because then we could also put the crit chances of the weapon, of the exotic weapons, because those mattered as well. But we have the stats there. It's fine. It's a good percentage of them. Wait. We're using TAC 50 as a shot, twirling the lava with a sign. Oh yeah, you can. Do you have all the weapons in game? Most of them. Especially I have all of the high ends now. Well, actually, no. There's still a few missing from the list, but I'm missing some variants only. But I do keep all of them just for the sake of this chart, basically. I'm missing a few like variants. Like I have 2 of the 3 SASGs and like missing still 1 of the SMGs. Mostly because I wasn't keeping it as that usually. Because if 2 weapons were variants of each other, I would usually like just have 1 of them. So I'm kind of taking it out there more just to have each and every one of them as well, so we can like look at some of the accuracy and stuff differences. Because all of these 3 shotguns, all of the 3 M870s are basically the same. This one has a different optics rail, but stat-wise and stuff, at least the pure stats, the things in here, they're the same. You know, now I'm expanding. That's why I'm still just missing a few. Actually, the list is in the build collection out there. So, and I hate the seller. Question: is Uber status affected built by status affect attribute? Yeah. At least I haven't retested since PTS. It's like it's PTS, last PTS. Then it did. I'm pretty sure it still does. Because on Eclipse you can make it last longer. But also it's not a hard one to test really. Because you can shock you can, apply stuff to yourself in creative ways. So.
You got it. I've got what you want, Agent.
And yeah, it's kind of like weapons indeed as well. It's they don't scale to the same effect as weapons because just their base numbers are so low that it's not per se. It's part of investment. Yeah, yeah. I was looking at that 3 electric as well, and like, could this be interesting? Of course, as well, we have the glove as well, the Sokolov glove. The firm handshake. The firm handshake. It's their firm handshake, right?
We're seeking skilled tradesmen. Would all construction
But I don't think you can make anything cohesive out of it. Well, I mean, it'll be cohesive in that way, maybe trying to get the the longevity of it up, but it won't be good just because Hunter's Fury exists. And also you need to be applied like in combat. Although some places, so I really found it actually useful. It helped me out a lot, even more so than because also if it's super extra damage over Scorpio with the I was going to say puppeteer, the recruiter fight, and that was because you get shocked right before you have to engage him. So you would empty your mag. At that point, he would start kind of like aiming for you, and then you would reload, and you would, because you had been shocked, you would shock him. And of course, the damage of Ouroboros is so much higher than the Scorpio. So it was it kind of worked out for that like one instance. The cold ration and the PP by I don't have the names. I don't have most of the named weapons, by the way. So I only keep from those. But yeah, all of the base weapons are more like what I'm interested in because of the burst and sustain tables. Because I'm not keeping around a lot of the names if they're not useful. Because I also need a little bit of my stash space to actually use. How many PFE mods do you have? Well, I'm guessing you're asking about 13 PFEs because if I'm just PFE mods, dozens because I have multiple PFE builds. I currently have still 8 raids, 8 on my main account, and then 2 on my alt, and one on the baby account. So, but 8 on my main account. I went out and farmed a lot for that though. So. Not recommend. I mean, well, it's kind of recommend. It was fun. Um, just playing with it using Ninja Bike. Yeah, kind of looking at that as well. So there are some interesting things, especially with that. That's 30%, and also the 30% with LMG. I'm thinking of using that for a Pestilence build. I was already actually farming a little bit of Lengmo. I actually sat there and crafted, like I had full Lengmo and I crafted it all down and I didn't get a mask or knee pad. I still only have the holster. So I need to re-go farm for it. I could maybe buy some. Actually, maybe on a vendor or something. So I could maybe... Who would keep yeah. But yeah, just because of course, the pesty will kind of double use it. But they're without Ninja Bike, just because, yeah, giving up that backpack talent hurts a bit. But yeah, 2-piece Electric and Hunter's Furying, 3-piece in Hunter's Fury Ninja Bag. Could be interesting. Especially if you have like special ammo on and they're like pelting you anyway. Maybe. And yeah, firm handshakes indeed. Such a thing as foam bullets. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, technically, the Ouroboros provides a stat now: foam and napalm. Like we have never been able to apply napalm in any form, and that was the Ouroboros was the first one. I was very, very pleased about that. I remember. Yeah, I was trying that with Lady Death, but I felt like a better with Bloody Knuckle, yeah. Instead. Yeah, I would align with it, but I don't think anything really useful will come of that. Just because it's not a man. If that electric, if that third bonus was swapped with the LMG, so if electric had the LMG and then Langmo had the SMG, because with LMG the Iron Lung also scales off of status effect, so that would have been a little bit more useful actually, but also just as hard to and annoying to farm. If your immune status get hit by it, does it still give you no? So in the well, you can be really high on the resistances, so just only for half of a second it will apply to you, but it needs to be applied to you so you can reapply it. So if it doesn't affect you at all, it doesn't. But what you could do is like have 90% resistance, so you have like half of a second of a fire going on you, and then you just then you reapply it.
Tell what sort of system tolerances we're playing with.
But yeah, could be interesting. I could totally see that being, especially if you have a few blue cores in that build, making up for, because that 30 weapon damage otherwise is kind of. Yeah, it's also a loss in crit chance a lot because actually just Ouroboros and Watch, because then you would be just Ouroboros and Watch, so you still would need a bunch of crit chance rolls even with an SMG. Because yeah, no, like Cheska, you can't put Cheska in there or something. And you'll have 2 pieces of crit chance. So yeah, you have. Actually, that's 42 then, right? 31. Actually, no, that's no, that's 50 something. It's still like, yeah, but also that's a solo build, so you would want 1 crit. Actually, that's 1 crit chance, but that's not too bad. I forgot about, of course, the two rolls that you would have on the electrics. Because 31, 41 plus 12, 53. So that's still okay if there's a coyote or just 1 crit chance mod. So that's not too bad. More blue. Yeah, just to get more effects out of the weapon damage. Because if you're going crit damage and stuff, of course, it doesn't matter how blue you are. Like it applies at the same. Well, that plus headshot, of course, but you know, in the same thinking of like putting Optimus more on a like a PvP build that is all blue, because then at least you have the blues, and then you're getting the weapon damage, more effect out of that weapon damage. Although, of course, your effective weapon damage or your damage that your weapon does in effect is lower. But because yeah, if it's all red, that 30% is, I mean, well, you know, it's like, and under 15%, it's like, especially with Hunter's Fury there as well, it's going to be, because it will be 145 at full red, and then, so that 30 would be a 12 point something percent increase. It doesn't have any redeeming qualities aside from its talents, he said. Yeah. Because yeah, Oreo is basically just, you know, a silly talent that sometimes pops up and saves you. That saved me actually accidentally a few times, but yeah, it's not.
We're seeking skilled tradesmen.
But also that still makes it a decent-ish talent. Just but then of course, yeah, it's damage is just its thing. Yeah, let's they haven't already started the timer yet, right? Because we're, or is it already? Oh no, they've already started. Oh, okay, they're starting on the timer. Okay, nice. Hey, well, that's a little loud for even me. And so, yeah, we have the special report. Wait. Why is their music so loud? But anyway, we are gonna sit here and watch that because I am curious, and we'll pull faces. We'll go ooh. I'll put my character over there. We'll remove that. Likely as well. We'll go theater mode. Theater mode. Yeah. Right. Oh no. We won't remove that. I removed the wrong thing. We remove the game. Yeah, just so we have that corner clear. Skill tier. That'll be interesting actually. I have tried to make yellow hunters in the past, but yeah, it just doesn't line up well with, like, there doesn't have any good skills, but maybe as well with that as well on top of it, like the Oreo on that. Could be interesting. It's not laying the floor, okay. Yeah. And yeah, I'm kind of as well looking forward to like theory crafting with some of the third and second and third stats. Hopefully, I'm sad that they didn't in the dev notes go like, hey, we're giving Empress and Hanayu that second brand bonus back, because 20 skill damage more on a third drone build like wasn't gonna make any difference. 10% more on a 10% skill damage more on a Oxy build or something wasn't gonna make like break it or anything. So they could have used it. Yeah, so a further 2 minutes 44. Gonna guess it's gonna be Yannick and that lady again that I keep forgetting the name of. I feel this is the third time chat is gonna remind me of her name. Yeah. I was thinking it's a D word, but yeah, I see Daria there. Yeah, Daria. 12-hour downtime. I mean, they won't announce it as such. We might get one. Yeah. All the Darius, yeah. And it's fun. I do still like that they still put like them on screen, because Daria doesn't have like, if you having somebody that has on-screen chemistry or on-screen charisma is, you know, something completely different than likely her whatever job, day-to-day job is. So they could totally get somebody to present, you know, for them. Just not even somebody division-y, just there's plenty of speakers and stuff that like could do it. But on the other hand, I kind of like it that they're keeping it in-house and stuff. Like the actual community manager is there, even if she's not that great on cam. Yannick's there as well, and also he's not that great on camera, but kind of works out. I'll say, actually, let me close up this. Still in that cell. I can go. Let's keep this open. They maybe already leaked the patch notes. No. That would have been funny. Because I think last time they did as well, right? Like the patch notes were available. Like they became available during the stream. Oh, because, yeah, the animated series, yeah. Daria, yeah. And yeah, the Ola Strad music is always pretty good. And they did it on the right moment, fading out. 2, 1, 0. I'm the 0. Nice.
Hello.
Professional.
I guess we're live unexpectedly. We're just talking about the cards if they're in the right position, if they're upside down, they should be fine.
How unexpectedly? Like literally expectedly.
Community developer for Division 2, and today with me, Yannick, creative director for the Division 2, and
let me know if the audio is okay.
Year 5 Season 3 Vanguard livestream special report. And apart from the new season, we're also going to be coming back to Project Resolve, discussing some changes that were made following BTS feedback that we received, and showing you some new goodness. But before that, to remind you of the events of the previous season and transition to Season 3, let's watch analyst report made by NGN.
Agents, we've recovered 5 more hostages that were taken during the attack on the White House, including Vic's sister, Birdie, who has vital intel on the Black Tusk's infrastructure and systems, and Nat's plans for the mobile SHD servers, as it was Birdie who was tasked with building and maintaining their power supply. However, it was through this rescue that another layer of deceit was uncovered. Agent Brian Johnson was unmasked as the recruiter. Johnson used his position as your handler to hide intel that was uncovered, and was almost successful in stealing the mobile SHD server. The revelation that hunters walk among the agents further divides the already fragmented division ranks, and Vic questions who else could be a hunter and points the finger at Kelso. Manny refuses to believe that Kelso is a hunter. However, we are unable to clear her name at this stage because she has gone missing. Agents, we need to find Kelso and uncover what she has been doing in New York.
Thank you so much, NGN, for another amazing recap. And I think pretty much all of you already guessed that our main goal for Season 3 is to...
it depends, Coco. It's usually half an hour, sometimes an hour. Half an hour.
You may remember from Season 11, we had the conclusion of Season 11 with the attack on the White House. And then at the end of that, Kelso said she was going to go to New York to check on Heaven and make sure that this settlement was secured. And well, we haven't really, talked about it or emphasized that, but she hasn't come back since. She has been spending quite some time in New York, like during season 1 and season 2, as we were rescuing civilians. She was all the time in New York. Manny mentioned that a couple of times. So now it's time to actually go and see what has she been up to, and now she's gone missing. So what's going on there?
And this time around, what is especially interesting about the season is that we are not going to be going after specific people, after specific targets. Those are going to be the locations. So basically, agents are tasked with retracking Kelso's steps and following her and looking at the clues that might be at those locations.
Yeah, it's just another twist on the manhunt formula. So, we used to have enemy targets. Then in the past couple of seasons, we had civilians to rescue. And this time it's going to be not direct targets, but it's going to be about investigation and retracing the steps of Kelso and finding out and catching up to her and understand what's happening here.
Yep.
See it before me, like
the manhunt.
her handkerchief or something. Go find their handkerchief.
Reveal the calendar.
One shoe is over here.
Going to be, I would say, surprising, considering that some of the details we just gave out about the specific locations, but also about the apparel events this season.
Do we have the calendar?
We do.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. Yeah, less faces, more places. So as we said, every target now
Two apparel
actually,
events, nice.
is actually your location. And yes, you can see at the bottom of that 2 apparel events this season. Again, a brand new one, Veil Tactics. And then a return as a second apparel event in the season, a return of Last Resort, which was
Okay, one
the
apparel.
apparel event we did, I think was with the release of Warlords of New York, which was revisiting looks inspired from the New York faction, so the Cleaners and the Rikers. So a pretty cool apparel event.
And we're going to talk about it in more detail a bit later, but let's also watch the new trailer for the season 3.
Oh, so yeah, February 6th. So that confirms the date, basically.
I trust Kelso. I don't believe she could be a hunter.
It's different style.
But trust has to be earned. When we put it in the wrong people. Just look at what's happened to this country. Agents were trained to blend in, to hide in plain sight. How can we know their true mission? We can't survive without trust. I trust Kelso. But I've been wrong before.
That was cool. That was a cool thingy. Oh yeah, the other dude from the box art. Slightly apparel event stuff, those guys. Thousands of bug fixes. Okay. Major balancing, quality of life, and much more.
What a nice trailer. It reminds me about...
That was a cool trailer.
I can't really pinpoint.
I love the style.
What is that? Who knows?
I did not understand that reference. But yeah, I mean, it's this season, it's about trust, really, and that's what the trailer is about. It's we ended last season with, of course, the betrayal of, or betrayal, it's a question of point of view, of Agent Johnson, finding out that Johnson was a hunter embedded in the ranks of the division. And that throws a lot of distrust amongst the ranks of the good guys, Manny and the division and everybody else, on like who else could actually be a hunter, or if not even a hunter, like embedded agents working for the enemy. And with Kelso going missing and Kelso having been gone for so long, some people are starting to ask questions and that's what we're going to try to clear up.
Yeah, but the reference that you didn't quite catch was to the Warlords of New York trailer.
Yeah.
A similar animation style, but
That's true. There was some of that, yes.
I don't know if it means anything, to be honest. Probably just an artistic point of view. But
So yeah. So here you have
actually,
it.
With Parnell stuff.
The new visual for this season, and once again, this is about Kelso, and this is about going to find her. In the process, Kelso gets a bit of a glow up, but yeah, let's go and hunt her down and find out what she's been up to.
And of course, story is not the only thing that is going to be shown in the new season. As usual, it comes with a bunch of new gear, new weapons, and let's talk about new gear as well. Some of you may have had a chance to test it on the
One bunch
that we had in January, and changes-wise, we're going to talk about it separately to highlight whatever was
There's a
done
name.
to few gear pieces and talents following the PTS. But for now, I just would love to show some of them in full glory. So this is the Aegis.
Yep.
That's a new gear set.
Are they gonna show the brand? Because that's just Overlord
for,
reskinned. Oh well,
this
not even
specific
reskinned.
season.
Well, it's also a bit of a throwback of LMB looking stuff. Also, so for people who played Division 1, this is going to be a nice thing to be looking for. It has some pretty nice, dark and red tones, which are the colors of the LMB. I know they used white a lot as well, but their logo was actually a lot of
Barbarian
black and
light.
white. So that was the inspiration here.
Samurai gear.
And yeah, I think we have something that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and the logo is very easy to recognize.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this season is a lot about enemy and aggro management and being targeted or not being targeted. So a bunch of the gear that we see in here or that we will see in this season is about that. So that was the case for the gear set.
Oh, it's the gloves and stuff.
But other pieces as well.
Yeah, those are the new exotic gloves, by the way. Wrecked gauntlets, they're called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these are about stability and weapon handling and all that. So it's a different idea, but it's
about blind fire
those that
and
could
hip
be
fire.
useful for people who want weapons to be easier to handle. I know it's quite niche, and we've heard a lot of feedback on the PTS. We fixed some issues with them. I'm jumping ahead because this is in the PTS part, but yes, it's a different thematic.
Yeah, but also this time around we'll have a new exotic pistol called Mosquito. You can see it right now. Very, very beautiful shot. Thank you, George. And also there is another exotic rifle, Vindicator, that is exclusive to Descent.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about it in more detail separately.
Exclusive from Descent, not
specific
to Descent.
part of the live stream. But yeah, to address the questions that we saw in the community, there was some confusion regarding this specific exotic weapon. Yes, it's exclusive to Descent. It's only available through the shop, but it can be used anywhere else. As soon as you acquire it in Descent, you're free to take it with you to the regular gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it can only be obtained through Descent, but then once you have it, you use it normally on your character, and you can play it wherever you want. It is
so specifically, you don't use it in Descent.
And for now, it's not that there are any plans to make it available through other modes.
Not yet. I mean, it's we've seen some of the exclusives being added to the Dark Zone after a while. We may want to do that. We will see, but we're going to give it some time, and it's going to be for Descent for a while, and later on the road, maybe we make it more available to other places as well. But we really like the idea of having a piece of gear that you can only get through bad game mode.
Yeah, and it also has this very distinct appearance. So kind of screams Descent.
Yeah.
But talking about other seasonal gear pieces, and I mentioned that we want to come back to the PTS feedback and some changes that were made following the commentary that we saw online. It actually concerns some of the gear pieces. So let's talk about the PTS results. And first of all, I think let's address the newest talent, the Behind You talent.
Yep.
There were a few changes made to it. And first of all, starting with the TU20 that is going to be released tomorrow, it only will be available and exclusive to rifles and MMRs. And this change in particular was made in alignment with the intended design. So availability on other weapons was not intentional, and we decided basically to limit it to MMRs and rifles because the talent was too powerful combined with some other weapons.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the moment we
Just have worded it like that
and
then.
it did not come with a limitation to specific weapon types. I mean, a lot of people just immediately identified that this could be a problem with paired with some weapon types. So
How
it makes
didn't you
sense, and
guys?
yes, that was kind of the intention to begin with. So yeah, feedback just confirmed our assumptions, and it was an easy change to make.
Yeah, and also there is going to be the decrease in amplified damage, and you're probably better equipped to comment on that than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do the math, but basically, you know, there is a difference between damage increase and damage amplify in the game, and if you're not aware of that, well, this is you learning about it, and that's why we use those two different terms, and it has to do with the way the damage bonus is calculated, and basically, the gist of it is amplifies are much stronger bonuses than increase. So for some of those items, they had actually the text mentioned increase, and the bonuses, the value of the bonuses were built with increase in mind, but they were actually made amplify damages, which means they were ridiculously powerful.
How does that
What
happen?
we've done is we've kept them as amplified because that's more interesting for the mechanics of those of that item, but therefore we've decreased the damage bonus to something that is more in line with what an amplify would normally do. So ultimately, it's not a nerf. I know that compared to PTS values, it might look like a nerf, but this is an alignment to therefore reflect the fact that these are intended as amplify bonuses and not increase bonuses.
Yeah, and I'm just going to mention it quickly that this change in particular would be available right upon the release, but the localization change that's going to highlight the move to amplify damage from the weapon damage, that is something that's going to come with 20.1, so the next smaller title update. But honestly, apart from that,
I like the changes, so it's fine. But
this
weird.
information was released as a part of the dev commentary following the phase 2. So if you want to read in detail and see the values and how and why the changes were made, you're welcome to visit our Trello board and find this information at the dev commentary. So basically, everything that we're reciting right now is not a new information. It was previously available. Just want to make sure that the wider community is also
Just want to waste your
aware of
time.
changes. And another thing with Ortiz assault interference, that's the talent from the Vindicator, the new exotic weapon available through Descent, the one that we showed right now. Also starting with the TU20 release, amplified damage going to decrease from 75 to 40%. Basically the same reason, and also localization is going to be updated a bit later. To explain why the values can be updated and localization needs to wait a little bit, basically this has to do with the builds and submission time, and sometimes the changes in the values, it's easier, they can be made faster than the localization because there are a lot of languages, they need to be updated. So, you know. I don't know why I'm explaining this.
The value is on the server, the text
Yeah.
is on your client. And
Indeed, Jancy, they're just trying to get to some mid
you
rolls.
need to make a patch you're going to download, and that takes time because it has to go through
They need the money.
certification and
To
all
keep
that. Localization takes extra time. Changing a value is just a number we can change on the server. I'm oversimplifying it, and some devs might be having a heart attack here, but that's the general gist of it. So it's much easier. Or even if we change it in a game on the client, still we don't necessarily need to make to go through all the hoops of actually localizing and all of that. So yes, changing the value is much faster than actually adapting the text that has to go with that. These are some of the hoops of running live games.
Still important to highlight, so the incorrect localization, incorrect text do not throw you off by seeing the difference between how the talent or the gun behaves.
If every other talent
Says about it.
was correctly worded, this would be a thing to say.
And the last thing that
Like there's so many
I
still
think it's
wrongly
important to
worded.
highlight, rugged gauntlets, the new exotic gloves. We also received some feedback about them that some players felt that they're a little bit underwhelming, and
Little.
the original intention was to give the talent stability and accuracy bonus, but since it's a PTS and bugs occur, and sometimes some features or some weapons, they end up on the PTS in their unfinished state. So it's not final, but that is what PTS is about. It's about testing. It's about understanding how well balanced different features and weapons are. So basically, due to this malfunction, we understand why it may felt that way, why it may felt underwhelming.
Yeah, and I think we have, both feedback also. We have the people that tried it and thought it was underwhelming, and we have people who just, on principle are not interested in this kind of item. And of course, you are only allowed to have one exotic equipped, so why would you sacrifice a much more powerful exotic for something like that is a bit more niche and a bit more...
Give it 25 weapon handling. Just
but that's just, there's a lot of exotics in the game, so I think it's good for us to try things and see if there's actually a crowd for that, or if there's
still want to use it in the
players can be very
game,
creative in the way to use those items. So maybe there's going to be some interesting mechanics coming out of it, and yeah, let's see. But it's something we've never tried, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah, just to finish off everything, basically the issue was resolved after the PTS, and should work as intended, giving both stability and accuracy bonus. But everyone is welcome to try and test it starting tomorrow. And let's move to Season Pass.
With Hunter's Fury, also you skipped Hunter's Fury. Sorry about that.
I did.
But yeah, the gist of Hunter's Fury, just to talk about it, is yes, so we are reducing the bonus on the 3-piece bonus from plus 100% health on kill to plus 50% health on kill. And the main reason for that is because on the side, with all the changes we're doing to brand sets, health bonuses are going to be much more of a thing now. And so actually having health-based builds is going to be more accessible, and therefore we wanted to make sure that Hunter's Fury, which is a great set for health builds, does not become completely overpowered with that. And giving 100% health on kill would have been ridiculous. So it's just us anticipating
redonkulous
builds, and therefore giving more tools to make Hunter's Fury more interesting, but therefore making sure so it remains at the right level of power and doesn't become a new meta.
Thank you so much for noticing it.
Sorry.
don't worry, it wasn't going to be.
Let's pretend that it was intentional, because last time you were criticized for shuffling your cards, and this time around I couldn't even see that there is another point left to be talked about.
At least the logos are the right side up on the cards.
Okay,
the
Season
last
Pass. Yeah, finally. Just a quick reminder that Season Pass is going to be available for 1,000 premium credits in the in-game store. It grants additional access to a really cool outfit and a mask called Menpo. And it's going to be available basically to all the Warlords of New York owners and Ubisoft Plus subscribers. And just to show you a few things, here is Menpo, by the way. Very cool samurai-looking mask and outfit, also in the colors of the season. Really love how it looks. And on the premium track, this time around, we're going to have 9
weapon skins.
10 dies, 2
Totally forgot.
emotes, 2
Emotes.
vanity outfits. This is one of them. There is also another one that is more tactical, called Crescent. And yeah, there is some very, very fun weapon skins that I would love for you to see, if we can.
Rainbow Six.
Oh, this is another outfit called Crescent.
This is
It's
Crescent, yeah.
more tactical one. Some of the weapon skins.
That's silly.
I honestly do not really remember what's the name of this one.
We don't have the names on the cards. So
I'm really sorry, but I really love
and
the look of it.
somehow we don't know all of them by heart. We're so unprepared. This is a nice one.
Ooh, G36E, nice.
I think this one is called Business Casual, though.
Yeah.
If that's the incorrect name, I will personally say sorry to Pali and his whole team.
That doesn't look like anything.
Yes.
Also, that's the worst SMG of the MB5s. Hopefully, it's all the MB5s.
So yeah, Season Pass available for 1,000 premium credits in the store. That's something that you probably already know. And the last
Season
to
but
cover
ass.
for the new season for Vanguard is the apparel events.
Yep.
And as we mentioned it early and you saw on the calendar, we're going to have 2 of them. One is a completely new one, and another one coming back from year 2 season 3. Yes, the one from Concealed Agenda.
Was it? Okay. Yeah.
This is the new one. And this one features 4 new outfits. And 5th one is going to be a completion reward. And yeah, let's look at them.
Yes. So this is the
New Vegas Raider.
This one of, we try to alternate a bit in the different styles and fantasies. So with this one, we wanted to go back to something much more military inspired. So there's a bit more armor plating here. This one is one of the heavy ones, so some shoulder pads, some ammo belts here, and black and tactical, of course.
Don't hate the ammo belts.
So yeah, and then we have don't know if we have videos for them. Yes, we do. Then we played a bit also with with a bit more camo, with a bit more ghillie suits and things.
This
like
is
that.
already
Just
basically
try to,
copy from what is in the game
create,
with one of the ghillies.
create looks and styles we haven't had. So there's always room for more nice hoodies. But what about netted hoodies like this one, for example?
I got that.
So
That's kind of cool looking.
it's more military, more tactical, new options that we haven't made before. Once again, the team is having more and more fun playing around with what they can do in the game and creating new things. So this is pretty exciting to see.
You know,
all
that
this,
one guy
coming
looks
out. I think this one is going to be probably my favorite.
Yeah, it looks very, very nice.
Yeah.
That's the true essence of camouflaging yourself.
And then a bit more traditional, maybe camo one and military one for people that are a bit more down to earth, but still nice looking. Bit more, yeah.
It's like Che Guevara aesthetic.
Maybe a bit more detailed, a bit more sleek compared to what those that we've done in the past. It's nice sometimes to revisit things that are closer to what we've done many years ago, but adding all the learnings and all the improvements and all the new expertise that the team has built.
But at least now we have such a wide range and such a big variety of different styles. Like if you want to be dressed down in neon stripes and cat ears, we have something for you. But also if you're a fan of concealing yourself and proper camouflage, that apparel event is for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be one style, but everybody is going to be, in love with and saying this is the one and we want only that forever moving forward. If there's that, sure, but I don't think so. So it's just we're trying to alternate the different fantasies and the different styles between the more tactical, the more agent fantasy, the more military, the more civilian, and sometimes some things that are a bit more out there, like we had with the Nexus, the one that we had last time. So we're trying different things, and hopefully, eventually everybody finds something that they like.
When we were
Keep rerunning in them.
results of the previous season for the fun stats, apparently the Gene Ramen, the cap with the cat ears, that was the most popular outfit item.
Cat ears.
You don't say.
The Last Resort, the apparel event, is coming back from this. I think it was concealed agenda. It says so in my notes, so probably that is correct.
Must be right. Yeah.
Must be right. But then again, I was the one compiling the notes, so who knows?
So Pastaria knew what she was writing. Anyway, it's from year 2 for sure, and this was built on the factions of Warlords of New York, as mentioned earlier. So there's 2 outfits, 2 Riker inspired outfits, 2 Cleaners inspired outfits. I think there's like 1 heavy one and 1 lighter one for each of those factions. So some really nice and popular pieces. So if you were not here when that apparel event was running a few years ago, well, now is your chance to catch up.
They should rerun more of
Not
these.
now, but
When is
this season.
When is the heat wave coming back? My favorite one.
Let's do a poll. Let's ask the community when they want to see Heatwave come back.
Yeah.
I know that it's one of those things that me and community we cannot agree on sometimes, but it was fun. I think it was very fitting for Washington.
Maybe one day we could revisit a summer-inspired, beach-themed apparel event. But I guarantee you, the team today would do something that would probably look a bit better.
Flip-flops for the win. One last thing to mention, it's not
All the
a
flip-flops.
apparel event. It's gonna be one of the few cosmetic bundles, something new that the team is also working on. But this is what players have been asking for a long time, and basically all the outfits of Keener and his lieutenants gonna be available throughout the season, so you can
I don't mean it.
buy the whole look. I don't know if you're
Oh,
a fan
you have to
of,
buy it.
I don't know, Kajika or Dragov
Yeah, you
or
will.
Keener.
You will be able to dress yourself up as one
Kinda.
characters of Warlords of New York. These are uniforms, so they are complete looks, and they will be made available throughout the season on the store for you to purchase. And the idea is just, we're going back to New York. We're going to be trying to find
Make
gifts,
money.
going through all those locations that we visited where we fought all those bad guys. So it felt like a right time to actually bring back those looks and make them available.
I'm so looking forward to Keener's outfit. But
What
that's
did Keener
pretty
even
much
wear?
it.
Jacket?
About the new season, Vanguard. It's going to be available tomorrow, right after the maintenance. So we
How
hope
long is the
to
maintenance?
see you in the game tomorrow. But that's not everything that we wanted to talk about this stream. The next big thing that we're moving to is Project Resolve. And since we already had stream where we covered pretty much everything
Go watch that one.
regarding Project Resolve, there are still a few things that we want to either highlight or
Are they gonna rerun that whole stream?
show gameplay to illustrate some of the new features that were added to the game as a part of Project Resolve, and talk about the changes that were made following 2 PTS phases that we had. But just to remind you about Project Resolve and what that is, we still have the video on our Twitch channel with the live stream with me and Yannick, and also the message from Yannick himself and our producer in Bucharest, Radu, where they explain what Project Resolve is and why it took us so many months to actually come to this grand conclusion. And I would just love to take a moment and congratulate the whole team on their hard work, because pretty much everyone. People were working tirelessly starting from August and up until this moment, bringing new features to the game, making sure that stability feels much better.
Stable.
There are less crashes, and those of you who tried the game on the PTS, you know that it really is true.
Except the freezes.
We managed to tackle a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think it was, it was needed for the game to take the time to actually do some fixes and work on improvements and all of that. But I mean, again, the foundation of this is really improving the quality more than all the quality of life, which is what we've done as well. But it was really about quality and stability and performances. And it was needed for the game, and hopefully, people will notice a difference when this comes out. And I hope all of you, especially those of you that have been struggling from issues, will see these issues fixed. But I think it was also great for the team, and the team did a good job at tackling all of that and accepting the change of schedule and roadmap as well, because we had to change our content plan because of that, which is never easy. But it's what's been amazing is to see everybody react to that, and the excitement in the team for people to actually be able to go back and fix stuff, because bugs are frustrating for everybody playing, but bugs are frustrating for us as well. Nobody likes to ship something that is broken or that is bugged. And very often, people would like to actually go back and take the time to fix those things. And our content plans don't necessarily always allow for a lot of time to do some bug fixing. So when we told the team, okay, we're going to put everything on hold and you go back through your backlogs and you're going to be able to fix all those bugs, a lot of people were actually very excited to get to do that. And I think this shows in the
player-based thing.
The amount of bugs that were fixed, the amount of improvements that were put in here. This was way beyond our expectations when we started working on this. So it's just kudos to the team for really pushing through this and delivering something that hopefully is going to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And even working through all the changes, sitting through all
It's gonna suck if there's a
I
crash
know,
in there.
Personally, it's my personal
reason.
experience trying to wrap my mind around all the
Like one of the map double-click crash or something.
fixes. That's a very grandiose work that's been done by the team. So congratulations to all of our colleagues in Bucharest for making it happen. And we really hope that all of you will be able to find something in Project Resolve that corresponds and resonates with you specifically. And with the rest of the community, I mean, stability improvements, that's one of the biggest milestones.
The countdown crash is gone now.
But since I mentioned that we won't be going through everything that we showed last time, mostly because we already had the Project Resolve dedicated live stream that goes into very specific and nitty-gritty details. Plus, we're going to have the full patch notes released tonight after the live stream, I believe. Those 35 pages, something of
They're
changes.
pretty extensive.
Pretty extensive. And I'm 100% sure that not everything might be there. There
Probably missed stuff.
Yeah, might be things that are in the game, but not necessarily highlighted in budget. But the important thing, the biggest, the most important, like improvements, balancing changes, new features, that's in the patch notes. Maybe some smaller stuff that we missed.
That we know of.
Yes. That we know.
There's
But
always a rogue dev.
When is the patch notes? This is where you say it.
The chain of command.
this
who knows?
is what's going to
Patch
happen.
notes are available
Yeah. Not allowed to face the camera anymore.
today, tomorrow.
Next stream that we
No
have.
place for
already.
traitors, yeah.
But yeah, there are a few things that I would love to highlight Project Resolve wise, and I think we should start with the combat gear lock, because that is the topic that generated a lot of discussions during the PTSs.
Yeah, probably the most amount of
Yeah.
discussion. And with gear lock, I mean, we're not going to go through the whole thing again, but it's... We thought it was an important change needed for the game, and I still believe, partially that this is an important change. But ultimately, I mean, the feedback has been very strong and very convincing that that we need to find another way to address the problems we are trying to address, and something that is maybe a bit less impactful in terms of the many years of playing the game and habits that players that you have developed playing the game. So our intention was not to just completely change the way you think about your builds and you think about engaging with content, and we didn't want to limit the options. That wasn't our intention, and it's become clear that this change was, which we felt was fairly minor in terms of impact. We realized that actually many more people than we thought like to be able to change their gear on the fly and during combat. So we put it back. You're allowed to, or we put it back. We removed gear lock.
You didn't put it
so
in.
This is going to go back to the way it was.
That's what she
The
said.
way it is on the live game, basically. So you will be able to change your gear. But the caveat is that we still want to bring it to conflict. We still think it's important for the vision
There, it's
that we're trying
fine.
to implement in conflict, and all the changes we're making, and making conflict a bit more of a structured PvP mode. So it will not be implemented in TU20 because we had to revert it everywhere, but we're going to extract the part that applies it to conflict and re-implement that one in the game again with TU 20.1. So expect Gearlock to come back in conflict only with TU 20.1.
And basically only beyond spawn areas.
You will only be able to swap your gear on spawn areas.
So I guess but by popular vote, removal of combat gear lock wins except for conflict.
You win that one. That one.
There were a lot of discussions, not only within the community, also among the team members. And
Also, your first dev notes.
It was very polarizing, and even amongst the team. And we had a lot of great discussions on our side as well on this.
Who wrote the first dev notes?
We have some
They
ideas
should
on
say
what
that
we
here.
need in the future, but, hopefully could address the issues we are trying to address without having to drastically change the experience. But that's future talk.
yeah, and since we already started talking about conflict, there are also a few changes that are coming to conflict with Project Resolve. Some of them you probably already know about.
Do you
Some of
remember
them
what the
were
conflict changes were?
on PTS. But yeah, just to recite everything, extended loot pool. Cache is going to be giving more items, and with the possibility of a third one. Also, there was a significant XP boost to align with all the world activities. And I think we mentioned it already, but just once again, shade and expertise bonuses were removed from the conflict. I know that there were also some feedback regarding that, and some people might feel upset about this removal, but that is another thing that we explained in detail on the Project Resolve stream that we had in December.
Yeah, and it's I mean, just to explain it here just for a minute, but it's just with conflict, we want conflict to be the purest PvP experience, where gear still matters, but the optimization of your gear and the time you've spent optimizing that gear is less important, and what is more important is your skill as a player. So your gear matters, but it shouldn't be the deciding factor between you and another player. What we want to be the deciding factor between you and another player is how good of a player are you playing this cover-based shooter game. And going back to a more shooter feel. If you
did that for the
more,
tactical shooter.
RPG experience where the thousands of hours you've put into the game are going to make a difference, then that's what the Dark Zone is for. And the Dark Zone is less about fairness and much more about who's the strongest. So this is the differentiation we wanted to make, and with that in mind, we still really think that it's important to take shade levels and expertise out of the equation, because these are stats that are basically just increased by your playtime and the efforts you've put into the game. They are optimization stats that we think do not belong in conflict.
But of course, that being said, we're still open to feedback, since these changes were only tested during PTS phases and
with the PC community.
Yes, and we know that it's only available to PC players. So please keep your feedback coming. It's still very important, and
Yeah, I agree with that,
as
Garrett.
you noticed with the example,
This one's an
of the
obvious one to
dialogue,
just do.
even strongest opinions can be overruled by having enough feedback from the community.
Right, and I mean, I don't want to make it sound like if you scream loud enough, we're going to change. But it's, it's we want to see it in action, and we want to see how people interact with it, and we want to see the conversation online between people and see the pros and cons and what the vast majority of people think. So yeah. We put it out there, and of course, as everything with a live game, nothing is ever set in stone. We can always keep tweaking and keep modifying in future updates. And with Conflict, we will keep working on it and improving it anyway. So yeah, we are not going to just put this and say, okay, our work is done. There's more things we need to look at.
Final
That's
patch.
also the gist of the Project Resolve. Like, it's not a singular update that happened once and it will never be touched again.
Yep.
No, it's like a continuation. It's a process. And there are going to be changes and adjustments following this release as well. And of course, we're going to keep you informed and as much as we can. Talking about other changes, because I think we cover pretty much everything conflict-wise. There is also Dark Zone that I would love to mention. For the Dark Zone, there were feedback and discussions regarding the rogue activation timer, and it was also changed. And now it's going to be three seconds.
Oh, that's a final one.
Yeah, so this is the sweet spot we think we've landed on with the PTS, and the idea here again is to. I said earlier the Dark Zone is not about fairness, but we still want to make sure that
There's
players
balance.
have an
That's how you say
opportunity
it.
to react when someone is going rogue, and that is just for non-invaded Dark Zone, by the way. And for invaded Dark Zone, the timer remains at 0.75 as it is. So it's also bringing some differentiation between invaded and non-invaded. So if you're really after the tough, hardcore Dark Zone experience, invaded is probably more for you. But we wanted to give a bit more of a chance to react, and we don't want. It's not that we don't want players to go rogue in the Dark Zone. It's just we want that to be a strategic decision you make. So you need to to commit and to really. It can't be just something on a just in the moment. It's something you need to find a space. You activate your rogue timer and then you come out again and know you're rogue. Once again. We'll see how that plays out on the game, and we'll adjust if needed. But yeah, we're pretty happy with this one.
And another thing to quickly mention that also the first rogue rank duration was increased from 20 to 30 seconds in alignment with the previous change. And yeah, what else? Expertise. No changes here. Just to summarize everything and quickly mentioned the initial idea behind expertise changes. The costs were lowered to make it more accessible, and the feedback was good, but that's what people wanted for a long time, I guess.
It's less grindy, it's faster to progress through levels, so what's not to like here?
Like true level?
Yeah.
Degrading.
We just wanted to make expertise a bit more accessible for more players and make it less of a
Because they really need to do something about how long it
Less
takes
of a
still, don't they?
boring
25.
grind, to be honest, to like get all the materials to try to reach the max. So it's
Eventually.
it's a bit more accessible now.
And before we move to one of the new features, I just wanted to remind everyone that if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. They will be collected by our community managers, for me and Yannick, to answer live once we're done showing all the changes. So that's your chance to ask a question.
Question: who wrote the dev notes specifically? Bring him to me.
And that's the next thing that it's not really in connection to expertise, but also in connection, Kinda, as the new feature that we talked about a lot. It is called tinkering. It was not on the PTS due to some technical
Well.
issues, but we want to show you how it works and
It was on PTS too.
explain
That come
why
on.
this change was needed and what can be done with tinkering. And I know that we have a
I
gameplay
tinkered my heart out
for
already.
you to see. And the most fun stuff about tinkering, first of all, it's the recalibration station formally that has been reworked and received a new flow, a new UI. And the most amazing thing that it can be done on the go. It
Yep.
doesn't matter where you are on the map, what sort of activities you're engaged in. You
Yeah, this is
don't
awesome.
need
This is like the
to,
best feature.
go back to the base of operations. It's available to you almost everywhere.
Yeah, I think the idea was really that like we want to try to reduce the amount of times you have to go back to the base of operation and really have these two. There's almost two division games. You know, there's the game where you're in the action and you're playing the shooter game, and then there's the inventory management game that is just equally as long, if not longer, where you're in the base of operations, going through your loot and like looking at, okay, what can I optimize, what can I recalibrate.
The real division
What
starts
do
at
I
the
keep, what
stash.
do I not keep? And I mean, not all of that is solved, but one big aspect of that was the recalibration and the optimization. And we felt that this is something that maybe belonged a bit more in the action part. And the idea is just, it's, you know, if you're dropping a piece of loot during a mission or while playing anything, that is almost an upgrade. All you would need is to optimize it or to recalibrate it, and it would be an upgrade. Why not be able to do that directly and then go back into the action with your upgraded loot? Why have you wait until the next time you're going to back to the base of operation? So with tinkering, we not only improved the flow, but also made it, yes, available directly through the inventory, and you can do it on the go. You can do it wherever you want. You can still go to the station, as in this video. You can still go to the station to do it, but you have the exact same functionality directly from in your inventory. And the great thing is that you can not only open the tinkering station from your inventory, but you can also, and we don't see that in the video, but you can actually also directly from any item in your inventory, you can recalibrate it and optimize it without having to go through the tinkering screen, which is probably the best improvement we have here. And I don't know if a lot of people noticed that, but you can, while you're changing your equipment, you're in your backpacks, you want to change your backpack, you can directly recalibrate or optimize this backpack from that screen. You don't even have to go through the tinkering screen to do that. So it's going to be a huge gain of time for a lot of players.
Yeah, and the only difference in the functionality is going to be that when nothing is highlighted, the new button just going to open the menu itself. But when you have a specific item selected, it's going to open tinkering features for this specific highlighted item.
So yeah, it's reusing the existing mechanics, but just making it much more accessible and much more friendly to use. So I'm just excited to go in my inventory and look at it and start optimizing more things and recalibrating more things.
We need more DPS. I'm tinkering. Give me a sec.
We didn't mention that that also allows you to donate items and to increase expertise on items from the inventory as well, or from the tinkering screen in the inventory as well. So you don't have to go back to the boo either for that.
Yeah,
The
because
boo.
we also have the collaboration library and expertise menus available on the go.
Yep.
And there were also a few changes for the global events, and we extensively talked about them last time. Also not something that was available on the PTS, just because it's not technically possible to switch on, switch off global events on a separated environment. But we prepared a small video to highlight some of the gameplay changes, some of them more visible than others, but we will walk you through them.
It's not always easy to convey fun through a gameplay video on global events. So apologies if some of them do not do a great job at at showing the changes. But basically, so here we have Guardian. So one of the big change we've made with Guardian is that now you actually can damage NPCs that are guarded. You're just going to, do much less damage. But if you have this rusher that is coming your way and that rusher is protected by a Guardian,
Melee.
you will be able to take it down.
Mechanic was there already.
Which was one of the biggest, frustration with
You
Guardian.
should still melee.
Was that you had to take the Guardian out before you could kill the rusher. Now you can take care of the most important threat first and then go after the Guardian. It's just going to take you a bit more time. And then after that, I think we've increased the bonus. We made a few changes here and there to
one of the
make it
strongest.
more fun and more
global
rewarding. And that's been the general gist with those global events. And what we've been trying to achieve is just make it more fun when you actually.
For a second there, it looked like in that video the guy got dealt at.
Right.
It's like that's what you would see.
Because obviously our benchmark was Golden Bullet, which we know is by far the most popular global event. But it is
Luckily,
it's very
more
straightforward.
and more people
it's like,
are
shoot the right
learning.
NPC and then you get a buff, and then you're just going to be godlike for the duration of the buff. And we wanted the other global events to be a bit more on par with that philosophy of like, just do the thing and then have fun. If you do it wrong, it's fine. Try again and have fun. No reason to punish you.
I think the Reanimated has also gotten some buffs, so that likely will
Hollywood is
actually.
just bigger.
Although it's still Golden
That's
Bullet.
what it's about.
Like-
And also the big change we've made
People
is
aren't gonna. The people that already don't play global events,
your
they're
signature
there's
weapon. That's a
nothing.
global event
They
where
could
you
literally
play your
make it
signature weapon the most.
give free blowjobs. and
We've made
nobody
it
would
now,
care.
so when you're killing NPCs, you can drop
the mentality of most of the player base is
on
just
your location.
that they don't
So you
try
have
this
to
kind
go
of
there,
stuff.
and it's much more generous in signature weapon. Ammo as well, so it's really the one where when you play it right, you should be able to keep your signature weapon up for a much longer duration. So it's really the Rampage global event where you're just dealing explosions and using grenade launchers or flamethrowers or whatever from all directions and yeah, just blow stuff up. And then after that, I don't know which one we have. Next one is what gonna be?
We'll wait for the
Let's find out.
reveal. Polarity switch.
Polarity switch.
Yay.
Yeah, so polarity switch is there's two things we want to
Yep.
do, and this one was one of the examples of a global event that can be punishing when you do it wrong. Because here it was, you have to respect the polarity of the NPCs, but if you shoot the wrong NPC, you lose your buff, and that can be punishing really fast. Or not
Free
punishing, but at least
bad stuff.
frustrating because
free shit.
your polarity changes when you reload, and so you're not always in control.
I mean, there's also a lot of
You
the
have the right
people
one, you
just
have the wrong. So now we've made two drafts
talking about them so negatively. Like a lot of people have never tried any of the other global events, but they're just in clans that just are like everything's shit except
before the NPC is dead.
Golden Bullet. Like
And
even
the
so
second
many
one is that
places
when
go
killing NPCs
don't
with
even
the right
like
polarity,
Reanimated is
we are
awesome,
refilling. I can't remember
already,
all or part of your magazine.
especially
But the
with
idea
Determined
is
or something.
that especially taking the reload out of the equation, which was one of the main issues that kind of took you
But
out
there's that mentality of like
playing,
just wait for
which
Golden
was
Bullet.
like, I'm in a good flow. I'm in yellow and I'm killing yellow NPCs. But now I need to reload. Now I'm blue, but I was preparing for this, and so now it's hopefully the flow is just gonna feel a bit more natural and a bit more fun.
And also the stacks were lowered from 5 to 4, and the bonus per stack was increased to 25% from 20.
So actually stacks are more powerful, and it's gonna be easier to reach max stacks. So it's also gonna feel a bit more snappy.
What's next? It's like a chocolate box.
This is the only one that kind of got
Exposed.
okay
Shade
changes.
exposed,
I feel
yeah.
like.
So with shade exposed, it's just
Or like needed the buff.
and
as HD
editing with the
exposed.
buff to try to make it to try
Just to have a longer range and
keep the
stuff.
uptime run a bit longer, to try to really focus on the fun of the gameplay, the cover to cover mechanic, applying the pulse to everyone, and really feeling like when NPCs are pulsed, you get to do all the fun stuff. So it's no drastic changes, but just more efficient and a bit more fun.
Yeah, the pulse
course,
radius
yeah.
was increased, and
That's usually the case. Like if you
now
get somebody to guide you
65%
through
damage
the
compared
global
to
events, all of them are
150%
pretty,
of
like,
what
they're super
people,
powerful already.
if you hit
Because I'm kind of actually not on board with this change. I understand it, but
And
I didn't want the other ones to be as powerful as Golden Bullet because I don't like Golden.
Yeah, reanimated is just. What did we do with this one?
Mostly because it just makes you way too powerful. Like,
Other-
it takes all of the challenge out of the game for a while.
when you headshot enemies.
There's a reason I was
increase the,
playing Countdown
bonuses
most
you
of
get
yesterday.
from the headshots. So same, just
Going dissenting in
I almost want to say
evenings.
more dumb, but in a good way. Click on heads, have fun. I don't know that we're going to see a headshot here. Probably not.
There was one later on, but we already covered it. But I mean, it's up to all of us to play and try the new global events now with the new mechanics. Not really.
So maybe this will entice some people who go like, hey, they buffed them. Maybe I should try.
Yeah, and we can always tweak them even more, but it's.
But I liked the global events the way they already were.
Seeing
And
how
making
much
them
of
more
it is
powerful
just like,
isn't like the thing I was looking for.
Here comes the shot. Here comes the headshot. Nice. Yeah, it's just going to be to just.
I agree with that,
Let's
Karen,
come feel a bit more.
I mean, in groups.
And
But then solo, of
now
course.
people are going to be asking.
Like Golden Bullet's hard to beat solo.
I don't know, reanimated, and not the.
No, people are going to be asking for a buff of Golden Bullet at this rate.
And Golden Bullet needs some changes. Golden Bullet needs that marker to be on the enemy
More
before
positive news.
combat triggers.
I promise that
So-
we're gonna go back to Descent because there are a few other things that we need to cover besides the new exotic gun Vindicator. That's
Oh, will they have a list here of the new
exclusively in
things? Of the
Descent,
new
but
talents?
once again, if you have it, you can use it anywhere else. But yeah, a few other things that we need to highlight, and I lost the card, but we'll just recite
have
them
one job
together.
there.
Yeah.
Take my card. You lead.
First of all, talent pool rotation. That is also another thing that we received a lot of helpful feedback on during the PTS phases, and was decided to shorten the rotation from originally it was supposed to be a week. Now it's going to be only 3 days. So every 3 days you're going to have an updated talents pool.
Oh, yeah, that's true, but that's just a
Pool is
bug.
gonna
Hopefully they'll
consist
fix that
of
up
5
again.
talents and
Because I don't think that was the case in the
exotic
past.
talents each pool.
Cool.
Cool. I don't know. Maybe you wanted to comment.
No, but it's. I know that some people had thoughts on the idea of the talent rotation, but it's what we're trying to fight here is just that every season we're adding more talents, and it's getting harder and harder in Descent to actually get what you want. So we want something that's a bit more curated around specific play styles. And we know that the current, the existing curation of talents in the pools we have is not necessarily the most popular for everyone. So we'll see. And that's something that can live over time, and that's going to organically grow and change depending on feedback. So if some
Just give us
we find out
slots we can pick
in
ourselves.
the number
That's
pool,
all
we
that
can-
system
we can
needs.
tweak them. So all of that can be improved. Now we have a full, UI support that really displays everything, and so you really understand what's going on. And overall, all of that should help with making Descent a bit easier to get into and to get what you want and to reach a level of power that makes the experience satisfying and makes you ready to go face the Nemesis, which you will face faster because of the changes we've made as well. So yeah, it should just make Descent a bit more streamlined in a way.
Yeah,
I'm also okay with the rotation for Nemesis runs. It's just, it breaks deep runs. Because deep runs, you can have exactly the build you want.
And the maximum is
And
9.
yeah.
So you can.
So now for a deep run, I'm going to just wait till I get like the rotation
as
that
it is with
has the
Descent,
stuff I want.
reaching Nemesis faster is a really good thing or not?
It's your choice.
It's depends.
Well, for Nemesis runs, yeah. I mean, you'll know up front how powerful you can kind of
Another
become.
thing that we
with
need to
that,
mention,
you'll
and,
go just for that.
now we're going to have 4 new outfits also available through Descent with 4 different.
Especially also exotic
I also know that a lot of
talents,
people like
much
them.
more likely to have
Yes,
the
I mean,
one of the damaged ones in.
plus added exotic named and reconstructed caches in the NCA tech store. That is not what some of the players were asking about following the PTS, but this is another thing that you can find information in the.
Wait, are reconstructed caches in the
regarding
NSH store? No, right?
Ah.
Didn't she just say reconstructed?
I don't know. Do we want to comment on it?
The-
Sure what you're talking about.
yeah, okay.
Okay, let's just skip it then.
Yeah, she said reconstructed, right?
Brain part.
Which may have meant like exotic and
also
named,
decrease the
but
requirements.
reconstructed weren't going on that.
Rewards,
right?
From 1 to 5 loops.
I mean, I'd be
And
perfectly
you
happy if they did,
receive
but
more loot caches and rewards for completing the same number of loops as before.
So again, it's just going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be a bit faster. It's going to be rewarding. There's more.
we'll see in the patch notes.
In the store then that is.
I mean, he didn't correct her, so.
to dissent. Yes, some of
But
it
also, maybe he
might
doesn't
be,
know.
Might be debated, and but yeah, we have more options now, and once again, we'll look at the economy of it, and we'll make adjustments if needed.
Yeah, I'm just going to remind about the changes that were made previously that you also can find on the Trello board regarding the percentage chance of dropping specific caches, and also Nemesis cache that is now much easier to obtain than it was before because it's a 50% chance.
What is a
But
Nemesis
yeah,
cache?
there is the Vindicator again. Looks cool, only available in Descent. Not going to be dropping anywhere else anytime soon, but the price is very affordable. And
I mean, she meant like a cache from the
It's
Nemesis.
predictable. That's the most important thing because you can get it on the shop as well. So it's the good thing with this is it doesn't have to be a very low drop rate, and you have to grind the mode and again and again and again for 8 chance to get it. There is a predictable path to it.
It's also it's what's 350, right? That's like 3 Nemesis runs at most.
Eventually purchasing it. So if you really want it, you can be confident you will be able to buy it eventually.
And I think that's pretty much it for Descent regarding Project Resolve changes. But we still have a few more quality of life updates that I would love to highlight. And we'll probably start with the skill modes. Because there is a new system, duplicate removal for skill modes. So, do you want?
Yeah. So the idea with skill modes, and that's one step in that direction, also of trying to make inventory management a bit less cumbersome. But with skill mods, what we've decided to do is that you can only have one copy of each bonus, and so now when you drop a new mod that has a better roll on that same bonus, it's just going to upgrade the one you have in your inventory and auto deconstruct and everything. So basically what that means is that you no longer need to hold on to 3 copies of the same bonus and then go back in your inventory and be like, wait, which one is the best?
The only downside here is you can't share mods anymore.
Here, the game is
It's
going
such
to
a
do all
minor
that for
thing
you.
anyway.
At
At least likely. We didn't see the system.
Just need to go hunt for better versions, but then once you find them, it's all going to be updated automatically. So it's going to be a much smoother experience with less unnecessary.
And also depends on if they
And
take up
instructions
mod
also gonna be
space still.
automated.
They likely
You
will.
receive the printer filament automatically, depending on.
Oh,
basically the
nice. So
skill
you don't even have to.
that was
Okay.
constructed.
Yeah.
But that's not it. There was also an update.
Just skill mods. Yeah, gear mods wouldn't.
And we have a video to
Like-
show. Basically, now
Because that would
to see
decrease
the
that grind
amount
way too
of the
much.
stash
Maybe in the future.
displayed when approaching it, so you do not really need to assess it and open it to know how many slots you have left.
It's a small
Yay.
dot, but it helps. So you just as you walk to it, you get a direct indication of how full it is and what's in there. So
What is the player's name actually?
the small things that when you add all of them on top of each other, it just makes the experience a bit like removes some of the friction of the experience. So isolated, maybe not a huge change, but it's a nice touch.
No, or when you're passing by, for example, and
Mhm.
just catch a glimpse of it, also a good thing to have.
Ryunation?
One
Or
last
something.
feature that I wanted to highlight, and I saved it for the very end. there is going to be a new vendor added, not starting from tomorrow. It's going to be also 20.1, and this is a textile vendor. His name
Finally.
is Danny Beaver.
Yeah, and so
Wait, what?
this is finally a vendor that's going to sell you stuff for textiles.
Textiles.
Players, those of you, you know who you are, who are sitting on a lot of textiles and have nothing to spend it on. And we want to make textiles.
Not sitting on a lot of textiles.
So now you will have this vendor that you will
I'm sitting on a lot of
in a seminar
unopened
where you
caches.
need to locate Cassie Mendoza. He's called Danny Weir. And as you can see, you can buy caches for textiles. Those caches are on the limited stock, so you can buy a limited amount of them. You will
limited
only
stock.
have to
Okay.
buy
Thank God.
a certain amount per rotation.
Okay.
So don't go out there expecting you're going to be able to spend hundreds of thousands on unlimited exotic caches. There is
Okay. How
some
many?
limitations here, but at least over time, you know, that becomes one of those things you do on a regular basis of going to check the stock of that vendor or buy the cache.
How do we get
next
them?
time.
What is he?
Yeah, this
What?
specific vendor would not be shown in the patch notes for tomorrow since it's 20.1. But once
Oh, okay.
we're there, we'll update information about the rotation and all the stuff that you can get from Danny Beaver.
Watch out macroing that
I
stuff
just
though,
love that
because
he's-
that's
there's 30
the same macro that opens that is also the same macro that deletes characters. So if you delta while doing it,
Incredibly creative.
it's
What
a
was it?
very dangerous
Who
process.
came up with the idea of just hello Lauren. That's almost it. A few other things that I want to mention before we move to answering your questions. Just a few quick things. With the project resolve, we also added a few new commendations for the Paradise Lost incursion. All the details you will be able to find in the patch notes after the live stream. So don't miss it. It's going to be on our website and all the social media, the usual stuff.
Just one comment on this is just that, okay, it's commendations on the incursion and what's the big deal. And the big deal is that we can do commendations again. We relearned how to do that. So
How did you forget?
some of the new commendation hunters have been asking for that
I
for
mean,
a
we
while.
know how
We
to.
released a bunch of content with the game without
Yeah, commendations. Add some.
So we're
Thank
going
you.
to try to, you know, retroactively start adding commendations to content we've released. But you can,
Fuck yeah.
you know,
Thank you.
hopefully you can expect that.
Don't make them do horrible though.
use
No
is
300
going to be added, and this is going to be a thing again.
boxes
Yeah,
summit
new
thing.
patches.
100 nemesis ones.
Another thing about the project,
1,000 Nemesis
also
rounds.
that is something that we talked
Loop
about
50.
a lot during the previous live stream, but there was one change made since then, and in the reward pool, you're going to have one exotic component for daily projects and 3 exotic component for weekly projects.
Also
all
a
of
really
the
good
stuff
change.
remains unchanged. The full details in the patch notes again. And one last thing, since there were a lot of balancing changes made, and that's not something that we covered specifically in this live stream, but status effects, talents, weapons, gear sets, some of them underwent a lot of changes. And in response to this, we decided to wipe out the leader sports. There are a lot of them.
Not all of them, but a lot of
A
them.
lot of them, yes, and some that I need to mention: the Kinley College, Strongholds, Raids,
Raids.
Standard and Invaded Solomon Group. We do not have the full list yet. It's just for the general information.
They're about to be murdered.
Yeah, it's just.
Hide your wife, hide your
some of them
kids.
are here since the launch of the game.
Are you-
And
are you
have
guys
already
sure
been,
about this?
Purged.
mean, they're gonna
we
do
felt
it.
that with Project Resolve, it was time to actually do a wipe on them.
Yeah, it's fine though.
And start fresh to really try to highlight the performances of our
Somewhere,
and
someplace, the entirety of room
with,
just
some of the
like
abuse and exploits and
felt
even
like a disturbance in the
not
force.
even old achievements that have been made by people who no longer play the game. So we thought it made sense to wipe a lot of the leaderboards in the game. And again, we'll get the full list and give that to you so you can see which ones are and which ones are not. we're trying to be respectful of some of the best achievements like raid leaderboards and this kind of stuff. But yeah, like mission ones and like.
Wait, does it also count? Because the counts would be weird if
and
they
that's something that we can consider moving forward.
Oh, that would
Do
suck
on
for a lot
more
of
regular
people.
basis as well to make sure that
Because times I can get, but the amount of runs,
with,
that would be, they should
the
keep
players
that.
that play the game today, and if you didn't make it this time, maybe next rotation you will have a chance to top it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they should reset. Well, they shouldn't reset every patch, but they should have it be listed per patch or something. Like every patch, every big patch,
in the chat.
just new leaderboard set. That's how a lot of
If you
games
still
do
want to ask a question, there is your chance. Community managers are updating the Q&A list.
Let's see what they answer, because this is always like the easiest questions.
Start with what we have right now and just
Like they of course pick like
very carefully. Probably not. And the first question is about leaderboards. Is there any chance we can get new leaderboards, like the year 1 board for Dark Hours?
I mean, new leaderboards, yes, we could potentially add them. The thing
you put heroic missions.
Pretty much left as an afterthought because we were not maintaining them and purging them. So now that we are starting to
No, they didn't bring
right
it up.
now, and we will see how that's received and how that helps with.
I would expect in the future, like 20.1.
We'll engage with that. But moving forward, that's our
They
intention.
might have fixed it already.
The leaderboard game a bit more fresh and a bit more interesting. So adding new ones is not off the table either.
Will the recruiter outfit return? I think that's something that we confirmed online, but I'm going to repeat it for everyone to hear. Not anytime soon, but this is not off the table. So there is a possibility.
One day. One day maybe.
I don't think they understand that they broke it.
As well. No, but yes, I mean it might, but it's we're gonna give it some time before it comes back.
That looks so good.
They did. They just don't know that they broke it.
Are you able to obtain the new rifle in the open world after you bought it from the Descent vendor?
Likely no.
That's a good question, but I do not think so. I think it's you can only get it through Descent, even if you want multiple copies of it. If I'm wrong, I will correct that publicly after talking to the team, but I'm pretty sure it is only Descent.
That is nice.
Any chance of update to the legacy cache? I have 3 keys for it, but I cannot use. Yeah, I mean the keys will give you textiles now at least. So.
Oh yeah, that's one way to solve it.
But the legacy cache, wait, I'm confused. Which one is the legacy cache now? So yeah, I need to get my thoughts together, and then I will tell you.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, of course, as well. There's also the legacy apparel.
We'll be able to select
That's the
any
one he's
granite
thinking.
type. Well, they're still tied for now. That's something that maybe we want to do in the future, but now they're still tied to your specializations. Other plans are there? Sorry, I'm going through all of them, but you stop
Other
me.
plans to add the difficulty over heroic for the open world?
Not at the moment. We're not going to put legendary on the open world because legendary is well. There's 2 things with that.
That's not the question.
One, it's only one faction. Only the Black Tusk exists in legendary difficulty. And 2, legendary difficulty, it is handcrafted. It is not just a setting that we change on a mission. There's actually some work that is done on it. So it's not something we can just trigger for the open world.
But that wasn't the question, though.
New difficulty anyway.
Okay.
This is not the plan at the moment, no.
Are we getting the option to reroll exotic 3rd attributes and scaling the open world boxes to global level?
Yes, yeah.
To both questions.
This was part of the Project Resolve, and this was part of the PTS, and yes, it's going to make it to TU20, so you will be able to reroll the 3rd attribute of the exotics, and yes, the open world boxes in the world will be updating with the world difficulty setting. One thing that I just want to mention to go back on the previous question about adding new difficulty, I know that there's a conversation about us about the power creep and about players becoming more powerful and therefore the lack of challenging content. And I just want you to know that this is something we're conscious of. and we have some ideas. But yeah, more on that in the future.
Any more legendary missions coming?
Not at the moment, because we're only doing strongholds in legendary, and we've done all of them now. So adding legendary to main missions is not something we have planned just yet. But once again, I think that goes in the bucket of what are we going to do to offer more challenging content to the players that have, full optimized gear, and this is something
More
that's on our mind already.
incursions.
This one about the new skill modes.
Does this mean we won't be able to share mods with teammates now, since mods get auto-used when they drop? Yeah, probably. Now that you mention it, probably.
I hadn't thought about that, really.
Sure. But yes, that might be a
The first obvious downside.
effect that comes with this change is that you may not be able to share them with your teammates now.
What about old blueprints from previous seasons? Because a lot of players started playing the game recently. That's actually what Descent is for.
Well, Descent has named blueprints, but in general, I mean, we have added a bunch of them to the loot pools already. It could be that we are still missing some, but the intention is that they should become available through the blueprint loot pools. So if we missed some, just let us know, and we will be looking at it. But the intention is that blueprints become available.
There's so many missing.
All season blueprints become available in the blueprint loot pools.
Like
How
Bellstone.
many seed credits will be reconstructed? Cash is cost in Descent. I honestly do not remember.
I do not have the number
yeah.
in mind. We need to get back to you on that one.
Wait, okay. Or are they?
Let's see if we have other questions. I honestly do not see anything.
I mean, they're depends. We'll have to see in the patch notes tomorrow.
One last chance. One last chance.
They,
Counting.
yeah,
2, 3.
Sure,
they didn't correct themselves there or something. So.
poor CMs in chat are like, wait, no. But again, I mean, as usual, if there are more questions, you know where to find us, and everything will be clearer tomorrow when the update comes out.
Yeah, that's.
And well, fingers crossed, it's a smooth launch. But yeah, if there are more questions, we will be here to answer them.
Yeah, so I guess we're done. The monitor turned off.
Yeah, our feedback monitor turned off, so we have no idea what's going on screen. So hopefully you can still see us.
But we
Way to call out your
for sticking with us and
technicians.
listening to the live stream. Thank you so much.
Thank you, George, for coming and turning on the screen, trying to be discreet and not be on camera. Here we are.
It works.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
once
still
again, Thank you
exist.
so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure once again to talk through all the changes and highlight them. The team made a tremendous job making sure that all these changes come to life. So huge kudos to everyone in WePress.
Yeah, the screen
and all
crashed.
other
The screen
workers
delta.
worked, and still working on the Division 2. And yeah, hopefully we did it some justice by mumbling. But yeah,
It's hard because we already talked about all of that, so it's like it's cool.
Just
that it's
end
coming,
it.
and I'm excited. But actually, season 3 and Tier 20 and Vanguard.
Just
whatever,
yell out, "Have a good night,"
and
my style.
All
Just
that is coming
end
out
it.
tomorrow, so that's it's great that it's finally out there, and I can't wait to play the game myself and see how everybody also is going to react to that. But it's also hard to do another stream. And
What build do we think
had that.
Yannick runs?
So I hope that we still had the energy. It didn't sound too much like a repeat. But yeah, I'm really excited for tomorrow.
yeah, likewise. And yeah, thank you so much again. We're gonna watch the new trailer for the season 3 Vanguard, and I guess see you in Washington DC. And thank you. Bye.
This is the animated thing again, yeah. This looked cool. This is really cool looking. And yeah, it is indeed the style they did.
I trust Kelso.
One.
I don't believe she could be a hunter.
Yeah. Hey, he has the mask. Wait, oh, he stole the mask from us. That's why we didn't get it for free.
Put it in the wrong people. Just look at what's happened to this country. Agents were trained to blend in, to hide in plain sight.
As McManus, then I'm guessing.
Their true mission. We can't survive without trust. I trust Kelsol. But I've been wrong before.
Year 5, season something. YU20. Wait, was that a cleaner with a... Yeah, that apparel looks cool. I like the apparel look. Thousands of bug fixes. Oh, yeah. That's enough of that. Yeah. So, well, like and subscribe to them on Twitch. Except not, of course. Yeah, we have to see the patch notes. Let's go over here again because I feel much more comfortable over there. There we go. So yeah, questions of like, yeah, we have to see the patch notes because if reconstructed caches are on the NSA tag, that would be actually big news. That would be kind of cool. That new vendor is kind of cool. Did they actually? I was kind of talking and not paying attention, but did they actually say how we get to him? Or is he just in? Because he was actually in a spot where Cassie can be as well. He was in a Cassie location. So I'm gonna guess something Cassie-ish, maybe. Or maybe you get the snitch and you get both of them or something. Well, we'll have to see. Now, reconstructed being on the NSA store will be kind of surprising. We're wiping the leaderboards. There's gonna be like the like in the distance. I hear like Vroom just screaming out. Just the entirety of Vroom is just going ah. Half of them in a good way, half of them in a happy ah, and the half of them in let's go get him. So yeah. Although I don't think they've improved any like stability for like the cheats that are currently being used to, because while there are some ways of like forcing the game to give you so much better times than you would think so. But yeah, let's actually leave that behind. Actually, let's go back to the game. Let me just see if I missed anything like important-ish. Also, yeah, commendations being back. It's a minor thing, but you know, just giving people something to do. Just giving people like I went out of my way and that I've done like all of the non-raid ones basically. I'm missing just a few of the raid ones. It'll be cool again to have commendations for Descent, for Countdown, for Incursion as well. You know, let's get this number up. I've been on 15 for quite a while. So that's kind of cool. I'm actually happy overall with the patch now, especially with Gearlock going out. I'm kind of okay with Descent rotation, I think, but it'll suck for deep runs. The gear and weapons and stuff is all meh, but also understandable that it's meh. So, like they've done all the good stuff. The obvious good stuff is already in the game. Yeah. Also, yeah, that was weird. Like, well, I mean, likely the person that made the system or something has thought about it. But Yannick, like maybe, like he's just because he's of course he's not a dev. He's actually not a coder or something. He's a producer in effect. He's the person like overseeing people. So he goes like, we're gonna change the system. Likely a bunch of other people go and like do the work and the thinking and how it should work and implement it, and then they just go back like, hey, we changed the system. But yeah, it is odd that he hadn't thought about it. And yeah, indeed, he runs rigor with waveform and yeah, 6-piece ninja bike. I said there as well. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the next season. Moving the story forward, I'm okay with. Content would have been nice, but also Project Resolve. Because the big chunk of Project Resolve is stability and performance. I'm looking forward to that. We've already seen some of it already come in. Because, for instance, as well, that those kills and bounties no longer stacking up the way they did. Like they've already implemented a few improvements. Barely lagging. There have been a few freezes, though, I've noticed now here as well on main games. So. They didn't even mention the arm patches that were in the crafting station on PDS. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I should as well. We'll see. I'll have to see what that is. Hopefully, the new commendations. That's likely as well what that one, as I saw some, because, yeah, normally commendation comes with patches. That's like how they work. So, likely we'll have a bunch of patches there. You know, I'm also kind of looking forward to the clothes styles that they'll add, or that they said that they're adding apparel from the Woni bosses, because they don't look. None of them look horrible. Like Keener's suit, I don't barely remember because it's more like his face that is like icon, like that the thing that you remember about him, but. Conley and stuff kind of look cool in their apparel. So, and also, yeah, the apparel event looked okay. Like I'm looking forward to that one, like ghillie suit kind of thing. Just confused on new skills change. So skill mods are like oh no, so it's not a library, but it's so we haven't had the PTS or we haven't seen it yet. But my guess is that it'll remain like this, but you just can't have duplicates. So if you have an whatever's, you have a 9 point. I'm trying to find like empty, like a pretty. Let's say this: we have a 9.4 stim efficiency here, just because like I haven't grabbed a higher one on this character. If you get a 9.5 or higher, it just replaces this, and the other one gets automatically deconstructed. Is how they explained it there. But likely these mods will just stay in here still. You could likely still dismantle them. You still likely have to pick it up for it to go into your into your thing. It's not like you'll just walk over a loot pile, I'm gonna guess. And likely as well, you can just still deconstruct them from here to get if there's mods that you really don't like. Overall, it's more just about. But the annoying thing is you can't also likely then swap mods across characters, so you'll have to farm it basically on that character, but that's fine. That'll make, when one of the days when Legendary is active with skill mods on one of the like if it's on DUA for a day or something, just go farm it then, and then it automatic. The thing is, you don't have to like go in here and go like, oh, do I have a 6 and a 5 and a 4? The one thing I need to want to see with that system is if it automatically also upgrades it in loadouts. Because that would be the big issue. Because usually what the annoying thing is, if you have like a 4.9, you have like a 9.8 health, right? And you want to get rid of it, you just deconstruct it. Now you have to go through all of the builds that had that mod in there and then replace it with this 10 health. Just although you don't need to, because it's health. But if it's something more important, like burn strength, you deconstruct your 7.4. So will it automatically replace the other mod and go already? Is it like basically the exact same item from the game's perspective, and will it instantly go into all of your loadouts? If that is the case, that's super awesome. Like that's because you'll just put the mod in there and then continuously just upgrade it. So that will be. Also, yeah, we get to indeed Parnell cosplay. We get to wear the suits while we kill the bosses. So we'll. On Woni runs from now on, I'll like wear Parnell's suit when we're going the tombs, and Dragov's suit when we're going Wall Street. You're just like me. And then when Vivian Conley goes like, the Division is just like us, we can go like, yeah, exactly. We exactly are. I still get audio-related issues. Part of my audio cuts out in random times. I have to shut down and reset my software to fix when it happens. Okay. That sounds more, though, because I have similar things, but only because of the DAC that I use. So that might, although yeah, the game likely as well, because especially when easy anti-cheat kind of boots up, it usually just resets all the drivers basically, just because it's checking all the drivers. Yeah. But yeah, that's just and the only downside of it is if you have multiple characters and you would want to, like, if I get it's likely if I have like a full one here and I get another full one, even if I try to pick it up, it'll likely auto deconstruct. What they might be able to do is change that system. Actually, we might have to see. Maybe that is already like that. Maybe if you have a full one and you pick up another full one, it might not auto overwrite, but that would kind of like be annoying for that system. We'll have to see. And yeah, patch notes later tonight, and yeah, we actually that was yeah, nothing too horrible. We're left with a few questions though. We'll have to go answer them later. But also, yeah, having watched that, I'm actually gonna go and take a break, and I'll be back later this evening, of course. Likely we'll go. Actually, is Langma on the map at all? Although I want to go, I likely will want to go Countdown just to avoid Golden Bullet, even though it's the last day of it. I've had my fill of Golden Bullet. It's over there. It's 511 somewhere or not? Something other useful somewhere, like weapons that I'm maybe after? No. Well, rifles there, but I'm only looking for one rifle. Yeah, I might go do some countdowning again this evening, because I'm okay going up a few more levels actually. Because I'll just do the season on the other account in like a day. Yes, if you have like mods sitting around that you want to like move around, I already did it a few days ago, but yeah, do that now, because yeah, if you have mods sitting in here that you want to go to your alts, pass them around, because we won't know exactly how that system will work out. But actually, yeah, if you have full one and you get a second full one, it might actually like let you. Yeah, we'll have to see. Also, I have 19 caches waiting here for opening next season, and seeing if we get any weapons with other third stats versus what you normally would get with them. So we'll have to look through that as well. And of course, I have a ton of exotics waiting as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go find somebody for us to raid. Oh yeah, let's do that as well. I'm checking what they're doing, just so that they're like not jumping off right away. And yeah, we're gonna go raid Sharky. They are in solo legendary, looks like. As I'm trying to get through the ads. Copy. No, not copy link. Copy name. And yeah, I'll be back later this evening, and we'll hopefully have the patch notes by then. Also, yeah. So yeah, annoyingly the thing is still up. So normally, if there is no glow or apparel cache up, you can see here. It will show on the thing how many actual apparel caches you have, because of course for me it's showing like 99 plus, which is the case for most people. But also, yeah, I have 45k saved up, so not sure if we could see the price listed there, but he also seemed to have only one in stock. So depending on how fast he resets, might not need to. But yeah, I'm not looking forward, because I think I have like 5k, maybe 6k. I think I was above 5. I was like reaching towards 6k, I think, or something. So I'm not looking forward to opening 6k. I mean, that would be a 24-hour stream of me just sitting here, just going like, everybody come over here and just have your questions at the ready. We'll go through all the questions while we just have a macro running and just just sitting here just in case it breaks, so we can Alt F4 out before it deletes all the characters. Because that will take a while. Gotta get a world record before they wipe the leaderboards. No, you should wait till they log in the second the servers are available, and instant world record, because whatever time you set. Well, I mean, maybe more people are doing, but if you set a 6 minute, on Lincoln or something, if you do it as the first person, that's a world record, right? That's how world records work. I have a question one. Hey there, Omni. Exactly. Will I get more textiles? The answer is always yes, because I literally have all of the apparel, I think, on this main account. I'm not missing anything, because that's also, I don't have these two, but these don't come from textiles at all, right? You can't buy them from caches or, so. This looks horrible as well, this thing. With the I don't hate the pink shoes there. I don't hate the pink shoes. That's the but yeah. I have all the apparel, so everything turns into textiles anyway. So I even have because I'm hanging on to these, because this is oddity that will not come around again likely. I would think indeed that Cairo would have 10k saved up, because you get them basically randomly per level. So yeah, that goes kind of hard. Yeah, they won't really care about it, but still having the in-game leaderboard was kind of handy, because if you kept what all of those speedsters, the speedrunners do, is they have each other on their friends list, and they know kind of who has the world record on what, and then just instead of looking at the full leaderboard, you only look at your friend's leaderboard. But that's gonna go away. But I'm also gonna guess there's gonna be a concerted effort to just save those times, screenshot them all and stuff. Get that done today real quickly. It's weird that it's just the day before to announce such a thing. Or I don't. Did they maybe say at some point that it's maybe a 20.1 or something instead of just right away? I don't think so, right? Also, if they reset the number, that would be annoying. So because you have the times are all bugged, but the amounts ran. I don't think anybody has been stuff like this or incursion as well. Number of completed incursions group. No. Yum to me. I don't even have that many, but this would be sad if this goes away. And have to. But how many dark hours do I even have? Because they have a reset in the past as well. So I've done dozens upon dozens of level 30s. And it doesn't show me here at all. So, because we did dozens, likely 100 before Wony came out. So they did reset it at that point when Wony came out, and even the things before it. But 30 clears. Because I didn't do it much after Wony. Although I think even a few, in season 2 or something, they reset it again. I think for some reason. Or end of season 1 they reset for some reason. But it's just gonna. It's also worthwhile. It'll make it look less broken. But I don't think they've fixed really the things that would sometimes break the leaderboard, because sometimes even unintentionally it would break the leaderboards. It's not on this account. No, it's on my other account. I have a time on one of the missions. Which one was it actually? I do remember it's on the right here. So it's either, I think it's Plaza, where I had a 240 or something. But that was just the leaderboard bugged out. Like I didn't even do anything for it. I just had like a super time on it. And actually, I can't. Yeah, I'm not in clan, so I can't. I can't check my friends list there. But yeah, stuff like that. I don't think they've resolved those kind of things. But yeah, I'm rambling. I need to actually go and grab a bite to eat. Maybe lie down for an hour as well. So I'm gonna go do that. And yeah, I'll be back this evening. And for now, I'm gonna send everybody over to Sharky. As well, there are a bunch of people online. I see. And also Legendary. He's setting his time in before it gets wiped. Brave man. And yeah, I'll be back. I was gonna say tomorrow evening, but that's not the case at all. I'll be back in like 3 hours, and likely we'll go and farm up some of the last things that I need. A few more of the weapons, a few more Lengmo pieces. Don't ask. You won't like the answer. And yeah, we'll go on from there. So yeah, have a good day. As normally I would of course say have a good night, but if it is night, then have a good night. For me, it is evening now, and instead I'll say have a good day.